when they did manage to beat out Genji, they were really good on their attack. And it's where KARMINE really came alive. That's my major worry though.
Halo teman-teman semua, hari ini kita akan lanjut Watch Party VCT Master Madrid, yakni Edward Gaming menghadapi Loud dan KARMINE Corp menghadapi menghadapi Paper Rex ya guys. Jadi kita lihat aja siapa yang bakal menang di match pertama kali ini.
I mean, we saw a good attack side from EDG on this
Joy
against Genji, but we're going to need to see them build those foundations here on the defense. So far, it's been pretty lights out from Loud. The movement towards B, quick. They're making a lot of noise on the way through, but again, it has the same vibe as before. Just look at the dots on the minimap, falling back. They've dragged a huge rotation from EDG. There's now 3 players on the B side, 1 close by around mid, and only 1 man standing alone is nobody on the A side, up on pipes. And if he doesn't move quickly, he won't have a way to fall back. He's going to have to commit to this angle in the next couple seconds unless we see him retreat. And, well, he's now stuck. He's going to have to hold his ground and take this battle with the lockdown in play. I wonder what the idea here is. Maybe a flash from afar to allow him to swing. Maybe he'll just go for it. Just the one to be found.
Kita pull dulu guys.
Pocket of space. KARMINE has managed to survive at the back, but now there's a rotation in the other direction once more. Still a player lurking around this position. Howdong waiting patiently, but he has to be careful that he's not caught out. There are a lot of players pushing from a lot of different angles. He might just, no, he's missed the timing just by a millimeter. That's enough, and actually, Chichu's now gone down. Again, this round is starting to get really dangerous. There are so many angles he has to be careful of, and Les is going to win that first. Howdong caught in no man's land, and for 4v3 it might be down to just 1. Tui's waiting patiently. Loud have managed to recover from a position that looked really dangerous to making this round look comfortable.
I think they've just had a really, really strong mid-round decision. We had 2 rounds ago where Loud seemed to be in control the whole way through. They had their game plan and it worked perfectly. EDG didn't put them on the back foot. It looked like the same thing here, even with the disruption of nobody finding a kill. Right now, Smoggy grabs 1, but it's too late to get back in to deal with 2. Maybe he can do some more damage, and that may be, well, it's turning to a reality. That's a free kill for him. But even still, the reality is Loud have just gotten away with highway robbery, stealing this out from EDG. It was a close one that EDG might even have had the upper hand in, but they got chopped up into individual fights all across the map just by not having a read on what the hell Loud were trying to do.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because I think for Howdong I can kind of forgive. Like, he ended up surrounded because of where the battles went elsewhere, but every other player ends up alone. Like, not a single one of those fights was tradable, and Loud just play off that. Just position themselves fantastically well, and yeah, the mid-round calls were great because that initial take for them, even using a lockdown, it didn't go very well. EDG did well, but it's just the way that they play in the mid-round that was sublime. Now 5-1 up over on that attack side. This is definitely looking a little bit ropey at this stage. KARMINE's going to try and pad the gap. He has had a quiet match so far. Got his 2nd kill in the last round, but it didn't really matter too much.
Here.
Now his Blade Storm definitely has potential.
Here.
Well, that potential's not realized this time around, is it? And I think the other problem being that, okay, Chichu might be able to get them back in the next round for retakes. I doubt he's going to be using lockdown here. And there's a Hunter's Fury online for Kalanzine. He's not going to be deploying that anytime soon, I reckon. So there's the safety nets that appear to be forming underneath EDG aren't really there. Damage being done. It actually is keeping Loud's economy pretty low, despite a 5-1 lead. If they lose a couple more players here, it will end up being costly enough that EDG might be able to reasonably force an eco out of this squad with 1 or 2 wins, depending on how investments go. The reality is there hasn't been a lot of hope in these rounds, and this one's not really the one to give us any extra. If Last goes down, it could be an advantage, or if he gets the kill, just 1 away from a Viper's pit, and he's sticking around. This looks like it'll be his fight, and not one he'll win, but that does still get the pit online. Costs you a rifle, but it doesn't give Chicho an orb. He already had the lockdown.
No, again, it ends up actually being fine. Like, Loud may not be keeping these as clean as they'd like, but they're still comfortably able to buy for at least a couple of rounds. Their ult economy, again, has been fantastic. Someone's tripping out. And for the side of EDG, they're already going to be taking their second pause, and I don't blame them, because these rounds, even though, okay, there's been casualties, I don't think any of them have looked particularly close, especially once you get to the second portion of the round. And they need to start getting onto the board, because sure, there's expectations that their attack side is going to be better, but they need to actually have a decent sort of foundation to actually build upon, because let's not pretend like Loud are just going to allow them back into the game. Like, they've got some fantastic players over on their side that, like, you'd bet your house on at least one round less is just going to win it. Like, let's be real. He has been one of the best players, I would say, in the tournament, but of the last year, 2 years, like, you could keep going back, he has been up there. So I think at this stage there needs to be a decent change. And EDG in the past, Chichu, there was that interview where he said they really do rely on their coaching staff. They learn a lot, they take a lot. Well, let's hope the second pause is where they get that.
We saw a lot of conversation about Coach Alex's pause yesterday and the impact that it had for Paper X, them going on to win like 11 out of 13 of the next rounds. Maybe that can be the case for EDG here. They don't even need it to be that strong of a statement, just this attack side to at least have some legs. Remember, even the best teams in the world will refer to those pistols as coin flips, and you don't want to be going into that with one round in your bank. Big problem for them. It's not like EDG have no ultimates, but Loud can one-up them. They've got the exact same plus a Reckoning. That could help to root out the Viper's Pit. And of course, the lockdown on Chichu, as we said, not really going to be that threatening when Kalanzin's still up.
Yeah, he's probably just holding the Hunter's Fury for that exact reason, so... Already? Oh, no, never mind. He wants to kill. He's gunning for blood, and he's going to get it as well. Might even get a tag onto Smoggy, not far away. Nobody's been having a bleak time over on this A side. Smoggy does well, but he has to give it up. The Reckoning is going to force him back completely, and I imagine we're going to see, it's an up-top plant, because they're just going to play this one passive. You want to go for a lockdown? Sure. We're going to be sitting so far back that it's not even going to matter. And I'm also starting to have a look at that rotation coming through from Les. He's looking to backstab them.
He's going to be caught. That's the only downside, but maybe they'll think he's around middle, not up here. No, they're checking it, and he's won the fight with 2 snake bites in a post plant. You'd imagine he'd be setting up for that right now, but instead they're committing more resources with Tui's moving through mid. This is a counter to what EDG just put through. A lockdown used, but their back is now wide open. And as they push forward, Les is doing exactly the same. Snake bite up top just to secure no defuse, but there's no one near the defuse, no one near the spike. In fact, as Tui's is about to realize, swinging into heavy traffic, and you know, it's not nice to have 4 kills in a round and have to go and save, but that's the reality for EDG. 7 now on the board for Loud.
Yeah, this one's going to come up as a Red Bull clutch, but there was nothing even particularly clutch about that. That round was over about 20 seconds ago. Like, Loud came in, again, every single round we're witnessing, they have a game plan. They know what their opponents have. Okay, they've got a lockdown. Let's put ourselves in a post plan that doesn't allow that to work. Let's have Les come around on the flank and basically just put this round to bed with the amount of doubts that their opponents are going to have. Like, right now, this is looking like a masterclass from Sadak and Loud, and EDG haven't yet turned up to the party.
I think that's spot on, Tom. It's been a really rough one to watch if you're an EDG fan. For Loud, well, we talk a lot about the curse of Masters for this team, and it looks like it might be on its way to being broken. 7-1, a strong scoreline and a strong start as they once again, on the side of Loud, push EDG out of control over B-Long.
Do they actually go B this round, or are they just going to take the orb and go back?
No, it's got to be an orb.
See, they haven't left a lurk. I think they're going B.
It could be the Viper's Pit also, you know.
There's no one lurking. It's a B take.
You actually are spot on with that one. Previously, they've always had that extra player behind. This time, it's commitment. But EDG are committing. They haven't played like this up behind yellow. It hasn't been spotted, but the reveal now gives away the game. That's a disaster for Loud. Or for EDG, pardon. It's a miracle for Loud.
QCK took some damage, and honestly, that's a disaster.
It's over. EDG are going to win the round. Easy peasy. Oh, man, they can't get anything to fall in place for them. Even there, it was a cloudburst that wouldn't fall in the right spot.
Oh, there we go. The 3 players at this stage might actually just go for this. But again, Loud's post plants have been sublime. It hasn't even been particularly close. That knife was nice. It's basically caught everybody. They know where they are, but there's nothing they can do. And Kawazine, he is not looking to be kind. Already spawning out Chichu, an awkward fight. And he is still surviving. Timmy the turret trying to help out at least a little bit. Looking to reposition, take the fight, and he's going to get rid of Smoggy as well. Just removing the weapons that they're trying to save. Finally, they'll deal with him. But again, the round is over. It's been over for another 25 seconds. They're just looking to fight to hold their guns. That's the game at the moment for EDG.
They are fighting a different battle every single round. Like we saw the
Nice
previous one, it was on A.
Oh.
They pushed up forward to try and deal with the post plant. Ended up being flanked themselves. Round was over. This time, it's all the whole squad is here to deal with this one Sova lurking in 2.
The funny thing is, I feel like there, Kankan tries to fall back, get pinged by the dart. I don't know if that's intentional, but it seemed like it could have been, because he then gives away, okay, maybe there isn't someone else there. QCK just runs around the corner and headshots him anyway. Like, it made no difference what the plan was. He just domes both. And QCK has been having a much better performance. The setup's been there, let's not beat around the bush. Well, Chichu's at least going to get 1 and no trade. Actually, the high tide kind of helping them out here. Another 1 for Howdong, but Sadak has found 2 in response.
Yeah, Tui's hasn't had the best round with his util there, chopping up the map to stop them from being able to keep control of mid, but EDG took it by the reins. Chichu on the flank. Good position, but Sadak is still up, and he's on his way back, so that util is going to be online. Has to be broken. Now they know. Now they're ready for the fight, and a little closer than expected. It's Kawazine looking to take Chichu down yet again. And on this angle, he's not losing it. Clean shot to the head. Viper's Pit went up and online, and that is stopping any chance of them defusing. Surely they've got to. Oh, that's actually a nice recon up top. It hasn't caught him, but it's given away that he's there. Maybe the spams can find value. Kankan's got to wait a moment as nobody steps forward. He's dodging the spam, but Kawazine steps in on an unexpected play. Even the pit dropped in the end for less to find that kill. Tom, this is looking like a mismatch on Icebox.
Yeah.
EDG's map pick, and they've yet to get off 1 round.
This is a masterclass. Genuinely a masterclass from Loud. It seems like their decision-making has been perfect pretty much all the way through the game. Again, this started off with a decent individual play coming out from Chichu, but then Sadak pops up, they get into the afterplant, and the second that spike has gone down, my belief in EDG winning the round has gone down to about 5%, because it just hasn't even been remotely close. 9-1. We've already seen this happen once when they played Breeze versus Gen G. EDG didn't show up to the party in this map, and it's not looking good. Kankan has been diffed. That's not something I think has been said in his entire career.
Oh, he's been hot this tournament as well. One of the big reasons I was coming in here believing in EDG, but I can't even point to one player not showing up. One piece of the puzzle, the whole puzzle's missing. All I've got is the front cover to think about what could have been. Hopefully we'll eventually find those missing pieces. EDG are searching frantically. It's a Hunter's Fury pulled out of the bag. Not finding its mark just yet. Some damage, but Sadak and Les quickly trade that back. Very few defenders left standing. In fact, now just 1. Smoggy's on all 4s. Howdong tries to get back towards him. Land a single shot. It's Sadak to utterly demolish this squad. I mean, he's been doing it so far with his calling. This time he takes it into his own hands. 10-1.
I didn't enjoy that.
Oh, this is hard to watch.
Yeah, they used the Hunter's Fury there, and they used, actually, to tell a lie, they used the No Command and the Hunter's Fury, and they didn't even get a kill in the round. I think we've just got to start thinking about map 2. This is not even remotely close to what we were expecting coming into today, and we've already seen in the past the back and forth between Kankan and Sadak. The sniper and the sniper's mocker. And well, 2-11. Normally, I'm not one to highlight the kill feed. It's not particularly relevant in most games, but when Kankan goes, as said, the #1 when it comes to ACS, ADR, kills per round. He has been up there in every single stat this tournament. Right now, he is non-existent. Howdong Doesn't even have any shields here.
Yeah.
That's how bleak this is at the moment, and they just can't catch a break. Not even connecting their shots at this point. No one can even hit a bullet. I think they're mentally boomed. I don't even know if they'll get a kill this round. No, it's nothing. It's a flawless round 10.5. Can we just call it there and go back to...
Switching sides.
I think I might have just got EDG's coach comms there. Was that you or them? I wouldn't blame him. That's a tough one. But you rarely see a master class like this. And you got to say, those first 5 or 6 rounds, it was all Sadik. This guy pushing and pulling the map perfectly for his squad, with his squad. EDG didn't know what to do. In fact, we caught up with Sadik earlier on. So let's hear a little bit from him.
Meu nome é Matias, também conhecido como Sage Hack, e sou o capitão da Loud. Em preparação para esse jogo, eu acho que foi muito mais a gente ter confiança que podíamos virar essa situação na que a gente está. Então, o segundo mapa foi difícil, mas eu estava com muita confiança, sabíamos que a gente podia. Eu sabia que podíamos trazer isso de volta, então pedi para que eles confiassem em mim que ia dar tudo certo.
No secrets about this on the way back through. Sadak just stomping onto site.
But a 1-for-1 trade, the numbers so favourable towards Loud. Guaranteeing closing in, it's all on Autumn. This guy has been a rock star for this side, but a brutal position, a brutal round to potentially go home on. Has he got the heroics in him? He's got so many targets, so many threats, he can't do it!
A gente já se enfrentou no passado contra a EDG, sabemos que é um time muito bom. A EDG em particular é um time que sabe muito bem trocar o ritmo das jogadas. Às vezes ele joga muito devagar, às vezes ele joga muito mais rápido. E isso faz que seja um pouco difícil de ter uma boa leitura contra eles, né? Às vezes a gente ele faz lurker, realmente é difícil. Joga muito bem com o Predator no ataque, então tem uma variedade estratégica muito boa. Para os fãs, amamos vocês, muito obrigado pelo apoio, vocês são incríveis, espero que vocês assistam nós, continuem apoiando nós. Se fica muito cedo para vocês, peço perdão, é o que temos para hoje. E é isso, um beijo gigante, muito apoio para nós.
Well, Tom, KARMINE said in the video earlier on that he wanted to strike fear in the hearts of his opponents when they saw his name. Well, they're going to have to look way down the scoreboard to see his name on this map. That is a rare thing. And on the attack side, Tom,
Kick him while he's down.
There's basically no hope. There's essentially no hope. An 11-1 comeback, Mini couldn't even make this happen.
Tom, give him a ring. See what he says.
Phone a friend?
Yes.
Or 50-50?
Let's see how good Mini's Chinese is.
I reckon he's a man of many talents.
To be honest, I wouldn't even be surprised.
No.
But here we go, 11-1. It has not been a good start. Still, potential of a turnaround in the next map, and at least maybe some life in this pistol round. They're going to be able to get off to a strong start. Less looking to find one back, so clean with it. They've got to be careful not to let this one slip away. Already looking like it could happen. Chichu eventually will be able to find one. Kawazine, he's very close. And I almost feel like Chichu's tempting fate. They have got themselves in a massively advantageous position. An open plant that normally you could only dream of. Multiple positions. Actually, I think the cross maybe missed here. The headshot wasn't even needed, but he has managed to find that first kill.
There's no chance, though. With the time so low, look how far back they're playing. Still with a reveal. You'd have to force one of the fights. Smoggy's already tucked in. At this stage, miracle work needed. 45 HP as well. Nobody cleans it up. And there it is, Tom. They've doubled their rounds. It's a consolation prize for the time being. Oh, don't hold your breath.
Yeah, I want to actually see if they can just even build into it on an individual level.
Well, like, KARMINE needs a warm-up.
Yeah, exactly. This is basically his aim labs before his aim labs. Like, that's what I want to see. Just taking the time to sort of get themselves into a good position, because they've come in cold and they've been shut down by Loud, who have looked fantastic throughout this map. So I think even just a few rounds, getting themselves feeling more comfortable back on that stage, it could be a pretty big deal for the side of EDG. And In this round, as you can see, there's no real safety net. They're just going straight in with those rifles. Chichu won't be the one to invest, a full gamble. But already with the drone giving away where this push is going to be coming in, the full force of Loud will be coming in on the rotation. A few upgraded pistols, but for Sadak, the only goal, slow them down and see if they can do a bit of damage.
What a round it would be to take off them, but yeah, you're right. The goal here is just to drop rifles, run that cost. Avoid giving Concon that little boost of energy. He's playing with the Outlaw, waiting for this wall to fall. He'll have some targets. Loud, very patient, but EDG are starting to make a read on this. There's a lot of players around here, some utility in play, and the spike is on its way back towards A, leading the charge by himself. It's a little concerning. If there was still a lurker around A, nobody would have, I mean, he's 68 HP as well. He'd have a serious fight in his hands, but it looks like he might get away with it scot-free. Although, actually, the timing is kind of poor here as he goes through the wall. Kawanzin's waiting. Now the spike's down. There's a rifle there, but it can't be retrieved. Chichu's lurking around mid to catch those rotates, but he's going to be spotted in a second. In fact, spotted now. Now he's stuck, and there's players swinging from all directions. Loud, all of a sudden, are in a 5v3. 12 seconds left as the spike is planted. At least they can breathe a sigh of relief. The clock is now on their side, and the players pushing back in haven't got big weapons. Even the kill they got on mid was just a sheriff, so nothing big retrieved. Kawanzin already fallen. Okay, EDG are starting to get their hands on the reins again. It's back under control. It's not looking too scary, although a couple players are low. The time is ticking. Oh no, it's only one. Concon, this is his chance. His aim labs, right? He just needs to hit a few shots, and it's Sonic again. Oh, 12 rounds for Loud, and EDG probably wishing they could have just jumped to the next map. This is more demoralizing.
That was a MasterCard thrifty.
Was it, Tom? Did they not buy? No, they didn't force buy that?
I think it was 2 ghosts and then classics, and
Yeah,
I think they picked up the sheriff. Even the sheriff that he got 2 more kills with was picked up. He didn't even buy the sheriff, Mitch. He didn't even buy that sheriff.
It's okay, because they're gonna map 2, man. They're really good on their opponent's map picks, Tom. Yeah, there we go. Well, fair play.
He's got an Odin in me. He's got Odin. Okay, Concon's managed to get to. Maybe, no, who are we even kidding?
No.
There's so much still that needs to be done. Still 3 players standing for either side. The early battles at least being even. I thought the Odin had a possibility. QCK, neither has spotted the other. Concon is just literally next to both of them. They've all walked past. If anybody turns around, they're just going to see him sat on a perch. There we go. Eventually goes down. Smoggy again has traded, though. It's the players with the weapons. Still, that push up from Tuiz and obviously the turret no longer online. As they do look to head in towards this A site. The wraparound's coming. You can see less. It's just waiting, watching, buying extra time, even putting the wall up just to slow them down that little bit further. This is all an attempt to try and just give opportunities to his teammates. At this stage, he should know exactly where these players are coming from. The snake bite again, just to make them that little bit weaker as Tuiz continues his sneaky little play around the back. His opponent's none the wiser that he's going to be right up behind them. First kill's free, and he'll close it as well. It has been a map to forget.
Telak dong 13-2.
With one of the most dominant, if not the most dominant performance we've seen in the tournament so far. They are one step away from making it to the top 4.
Nothing but smiles from Sadak up on that stage, and I'd be surprised if I saw anything else. We know EDG are good on their opponent's map picks. No.
Okay, we're going to toss it. I don't want to talk about that. We'll let the desk maybe bring it down after the break.
Hey guys, it's Jimmy Lin. In this series, I'm going to walk you through attack on Pearl. Watch out for the stairs, clear this angle. You're going to be able to fight this.
Bull gives you wings.
Gas.
Hey guys, I am here with SCK from Loud. Congratulations on that first map. Now the team has shared previously that this tournament is very challenging for them, but despite that, Loud has been very consistent with their energy. Who on the team contributes the most to keeping that energy up, especially for very important matches like this?
I think that Sazak is this guy. He always like have a smile on his face. He always like time to cheer and make it the environment really good. I'm a kind of this guy that always listening music and all of that. So we have a little bit jet lag, but the energy will be growing up because we are happy to be here.
All right, well it certainly looks like that. He looks like a really happy guy. So let's see if Loud can close this out.
Well, they have plenty of reasons, Mika, to be happy because after a 13-2 trouncing over the Chinese #1 seed, Loud show the world that they are very much here to play and maybe even here to stay. That was, honestly, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That was just straight up brutal.
I mean, what is going on with EDG? Back to back, they start a map with an 11-1 half against them. They crumbled in that Gen G series. They show up here against Loud, and they look like they are crumbling again. This is not the team we've come to know from EDG. Loud absolutely picked them apart.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like the logic that EDG applied to picking this map, by the way, their pick was, okay, we beat Gen G on this map, Gen G beat Loud, so therefore we should be able to beat Loud. But it looked like a rock, paper, scissors. It looked like a rock, paper, scissors kind of situation.
Transitive property, I said process of elimination.
Yeah.
Oh, I was wrong, you were right.
Neither of us actually passed 4th grade mathematics.
But yes, like you can see the logic there. But I can't. There's no logic in that game.
It's not about the map pool. I think they could have showed up to any map and looked like that. It is about confidence. This is a team. You look at their faces. No one is yelling. No one is making noise. No one is giving that energy that EDG thrives on. Think of when this team is at their best. Kong is up, standing, screaming. He's shooting an operator at the camera. They're showmen when they're great. And right now they look completely deflated. But we do have to give Loud credit because they did still play a really good game. In particular, that attacking side, I thought that Sidak was calling an absolutely stunning match.
Yeah, exactly. And we picked up a couple of good examples because, Mimi, you're completely right. It's all about that mid-round calling. We know that both of the teams are very, very hard shooters. So it's only on fundamentals and actually the reads on the map that you can win in this matchup. We were seeing that EDG was getting a lot of the kills in some of these rounds, but they are unable to close them up because of the adaptation and the moving around the map that Loud was having round after round. You know, maybe they won 2 rounds, but let's think about the 2 rounds that they won. The 3rd round, right after, Loud is on a bonus, and then Pistol on the 2nd half. This could have perfectly been, this could have perfectly been a 13-0.
Yeah, it absolutely could have. It was just inches away from that happening. But you see in the rounds the variety of the calling for Loud, even when they're losing. They're going for a lot of fakes. They're going for these interesting ideas with the B split. And I think we have seen that historically when they play this harbor composition, they really have a lot more kind of adaptability than with the comps when teams are playing without the harbor. Without the hammer or without the double controller in general, most teams it's just an A hit simulator. You go there always. Sometimes you throw in a B hit. You have to fight deep. But yeah, it's so different for this squad, the variety they have.
Well, let's go to the AIM Lab shoot around real fast. We'll check in with Chichu and we'll continue the conversation regarding EDG. You know, something that I thought I would never see as I'm looking through the stats, because obviously we're looking at Chichu here, but Kong, 4 frags total, like the whole map, which is like heartbreaking because
shut down completely.
And you would see him on screen here and there. It didn't feel like his aim was aligned there. Like it wasn't like it was like big battles. No, it honestly just felt like he was just getting diffed.
Yeah, exactly. Not many things were working on the side of EDG for their first map again. And I repeat, this is the map that they chose. Now we should be moving on something that theoretically Loud is going to be more comfortable in.
Yeah, and honestly, the wildest thing to me about that match, besides the crumble as a whole, was that QCK was diffing Kong. He's the guy we were saying needed to step up, needed to be great on the jet. We hadn't seen him at his peak yet. And he was out there, he was being set up beautifully, and he was dominating Kong in the opening kills. But you're right, Bea. We've hit a reset point, we've gone into sunset, but man, am I worried about EDG. It's so hard to reset. Not just, sometimes you lose a match, you can wipe it away, but this is now 2 maps in a row where it's been the same story.
Yeah, probably they ran out of fuel maybe too soon in the tournament. We were talking about, is Loud top notch right now? Are they going to be, are they really up there to be the winners of the tournament? EDG right now is not looking like a fair opponent to them because Loud, after what they did yesterday on Sunset, how good they were feeling, how everything was falling onto place, a 13-5 against FPX where FPX were having crazy rounds. I think that Live and Ultim were final bosses. For this one, things are getting even harder for EDG.
Yeah, very much out of hand here. Here comes the agent select. And, we're getting ready here for some sunset. You're going to see QCK. He's going to be rocking that Phoenix. He's going to get right in the face of his opponents as much as he can.
Yeah, the biggest goals of Loud's comp on the defense is extremity control. With that breach, with their multitude of flashes, they're really good at holding down space in the mains, in fighting forward against EDG. They don't have that same initiator power to fight back in. So for EDG, I think this attack side is about getting mid control, baiting out util, going for these late round hits if they want to win. But that's all out the window. This is a map about confidence. EDG need to remember who they are. They're the team who's been dominating in China, who comes to international events and beats the best of them. It's absolutely unacceptable for them to go out with a whimper. This team needs to remember why they're great.
And watch out because Loud might have the read onto them. We know that EDG likes to play it slow, likes to play it with time, but Loud Loud with this composition and with that first map that they gave us, they want to take it all and make it into playoffs.
Is this how it ends for EDG? Will Loud push forward into the playoffs? Let's find out. Send it right back over to Mitch and Tom.
Thank you so much, Golden Boy, and our wonderful analyst desk. Tom, as we move into this next one, you know, I pity our analysts for having to look at that last one and break it down, because it's tough to be nice to EDG after that. It was a really, really rough showing on their map pick, but the promise, are good on their opponent's map picks. Tom, you opened up the series by saying that. I hope to God you're right.
Well, that's the thing. We now have to do what EDG did and forget that ever happened and then move straight on. And Loud, they run quite an explosive comp. Kicking it off on this defensive side, you can expect aggression, you can expect pressure. And basically, EDG have to forget that has been a rough performance. Boombot gone, shock dart counted. Now going to be looking for the split straight through into mid. And still though, there are plenty of players from Loud around these angles. QCK already, as said, was looking good on the last map, looking to try and take control. And it's less than Howdong with the first couple, but Loud have come out on top.
Still a bit of a struggle to get in towards B main, and Spike dropped. Everybody split up, and it's only KARMINE left. He's fired off to find kalian the first, but a double peek quickly secures the round for Loud. And that's another pistol underneath Loud's control. All three so far have gone to them. And for EDG, it's going to be a minute before they can heat back up. They're down to pistols.
Yeah, I think it would have been nice for them just to get off to a good start on this map. Try and, as said, forget what happened. But the fact is, it's always difficult when Loud play the way they do. Like, I feel like there's going to have to be real dedication to just being wary of where QCK is going to be, because he could be everywhere. Like, the fact is, he is going to pressure all over the map. He's going to have supportive utility from kalian at times. He's also going to be looking to farm up those ult orbs, because it really does help with the aggression. So I feel like EDG are going to have to play their defaults well, and in the last round particularly, losing B main like that and having no way in, that was definitely a problem.
Immediate spams through the smoke. Well, Howdong's definitely got the shorter end of that stick. Les has been tagged up a little bit, and 2 eases down. Okay, EDG, they've got a little bit of punch packed in this one. For the defensive side, they've lost full mid control. So it's time to go walkabouts. A site is under threat from behind, so they're going to secure the front. QCK's already made it past, but the timing is key, and he's picked his angle. Picked the right angle indeed, although the shots don't land. The flash in hand, and it almost cost him his life, but the timing was good. With Howdong down, the heal can be found by QCK, and he's out of there, actually. He's just going to give up the control entirely.
Yeah, not wanting to try and stick around versus the pistols. The thing is, though, the B site is under the control of their opponents. They don't really have the cipher that we've seen from many others, from Chichu on the other side, that gives them that extra bit of information. We've seen a lot of teams really utilize the cipher on this map. Lesto executing KARMINE. He was one of the major dangers. Look at the rest of the weaponry that's available for EDG, and it definitely isn't pretty.
Take flight.
Even an extra kill or two, though, in this post plant could be huge.
Well, this is it, especially with the plant spot, right? Like, this is all about spamming. The downside is 2 classics, not really going to have the best at times. Nobody know where to go. Found an angle eventually, and a kill with Chichu on another. Now there's a real chance for damage. Shock dart close, and the spray doesn't land. kalian's now the last man standing. He might not even be able to win this anymore. If he does, it's going to be at a heavy, heavy cost, and he's out.
Fair play. That was a point I had absolutely no belief in the fact that EDG would be able to take that home. Already getting themselves a MasterCard Thrifty, and that's going to be a huge boost to the confidence. Some great individual ability there, but also just the goal to just sit in a snake bite and then peek after the 2 pulses. That's one of the few moments you're going to see an aftershock, like the changes that they made to it from 3 pulses to 2, actually making a major difference, because otherwise he is dead.
1 enemy remaining.
Just about made it out with his life. Hit the shots. And even with the shock darts finding them, a player swinging who's got a fully auto rifle when you're so low, just didn't matter. EDG have got their early start. This is what we wanted to see. I thought we weren't seeing it with the pistol. The smile on my face as Loud now have the weaker weapons, and EDG will face off against them with confidence. KARMINE straight around that angle, and Les, one of the major dangers, is already being dropped. Both rifles that Loud have are now on the floor.
Confident looking KARMINE was already looking dangerously missing in the last map, and he did have a rough performance the last time they played Sunset as well versus Paybrek, so I was a little bit worried, but the fact is this round decimating less. 2E's now. Again, it's about getting a kill, getting anything, make things more costly. They know exactly where he is. Now, not shooting it might bait the idea that he's around the corner, but KARMINE is making sure he's not giving anything away. And to bounce back off pistols and then go into a flawless round, that's about as good of an economy boost as you're ever going to get.
Well, they lost the pistol. They're 2-1 up, and they've got a showstopper on KARMINE, a player that was, as you said, just completely missing on the previous map. A player that is really the reason that people are believing in this squad being able to pull it across the line, because he's been so strong this tournament. And I was terrified. If he didn't show up here, the game was already over. But very early on, we found out that he's here to play. And round number 4 is going to see a full buy for both squads. Run it back online.
Okay, he's insta-popped the showstopper. Again, this just has to be a moment for Loud where they just give up the site. Almost played straight into the retake. He's garnered quite a bit of space, but because he's gone the direction of elbow, they actually haven't managed to get into an after-plant position off of the back of this. And maybe almost trying to sell the idea that this was a ruse. I like this from EDG. They're now breaking the door, and I feel like this is putting in some real hesitation in the side of Loud. Like, they're clearing things out. They've seen absolutely nothing on A after your opponent bursts a showstopper into the elbow. This is a really... This must be a peculiar round for them. And now just patiently waiting. Timing going to be everything. I think Sadak caught a glimpse, though.
He saw one. He might have seen two. Decent shock dart as well. Some damage done. EDG on their way through, though. They will make the A play with QCK securing mid and now looking to move forward. This is where I expect to run it back, and indeed, it's already popped. He's on his way through. Peak is good for some damage. QCK focused on the site, gets dropped eventually, but he's back in the fight now. Alongside KARMINE, who's just burned the ball as util. You know, that flash didn't manage to root anyone out of position, but the molly certainly has. They're all low and, well, sat around the same position, just nobody who's up on full. He's the first to swing, post on the wide angle, and find quite a bit of control for himself. The plant still to be secured with 15 seconds. They need to find a safe haven to get that done, and it's the corner up close. Nobody has to hold strong, and with him down, the round is already done. You imagine. Come on, there we go.
Yeah, I saw Sadak on 1 HP, and there was a moment that maybe there was some belief, but yeah, a very odd round. Like, I don't mind the ideas from EDG, like the start, if that was the game plan, because they take so much control with the showstopper. Okay, that's fine. Then they pause, which I definitely think puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents. But then they don't really take that space, and they take so long to get into an after-plant position and lose the battles in mid. That was one of the major detriments to the round, was that you already saw Loud having such a large advantage that, okay, I think nobody ends up doing quite well to at least make that one look competitive, but ultimately the round doesn't go their way. Now, luckily, as we've mentioned, plenty of cash available.
Yeah, there's no struggles whatsoever. But the side of EDG, even Hunter's Fury online to work with, something to fall back on. Close to getting a null command as well.
Revealing area.
2E's, well, he might have his by the end of the round. We'll see if that has any impact. Round 5 starts off with a spray, and KARMINE getting put in his place by KALIan. As we saw, that was just blind fire straight through the smoke, but an angle that's going to be very frequently spammed.
Again, now Loud are able to fall back into these more passive positions. 2E's about to be put under pressure, but the fact is he'll probably just fall back off of this, call for some rotations. And you can see Loud are starting to group up together to potentially make a play back into mid. Now this is being watched by Smoggy, and because of that they are just going to have to fall back. Chichu potentially wanting to try and find some sort of trade, but in the meantime they have again completely given up this A site. But as we've already witnessed, Loud are very happy to go for the retake.
Might be one player shy. Chichu was patient. An angle that was checked before many times by Loud on the way back through, but they decided to leave it open this time. That's going to delay the rotates to A, and even allow EDG to get into position on the post plants. Although Chichu might not be there to help them out, I don't think he's expecting QCK to be quite that close. I will take him out of the retake for a while, buy some time for the squad of EDG to bunker down. They don't know where these players from the side of Loud are. I mean, again, QCK is on the other side of the universe.
The paranoia
Oh,
he's
he's
perfect.
They've gambled it the right way, but there's no one to follow up on it. There's no one there. QCK is caught. Okay, Howdong's in a good position, only the one to be found. They know where Smoggy is, so they're holding the angle. Clean as can be. Nobody, though, still holding strong. He sees the shoulder, but he can't get the angle off. Or the bullets either. Couldn't decide. 3 rounds for Loud.
Yeah, they've been good in these retakes. I thought for a moment that paranoia looked like it could catch all 3 players as they went for the retake, but wasn't quite placed out. Well, it was placed well, but there wasn't anybody to actually capitalize off it. And then in the end, it just came down to some slightly shaky fights. The Hunter's Fury as well, close to being devastating, but close is not going to win you these rounds. Still, though, EDG are going to be able to bounce back once again. They still have the finances available to them to invest in this round. And the A site, they've been able to get into the post plants. I actually think a lot of their problems right now is the fact that they are trying to play the map so much. I think they've been given quite a lot of opportunities on A, but they always have a deficit by the time they get there.
You know, when you think about how those
retakes
were established for Loud, 30 seconds before Spike goes down, you have players being dropped, you have QCK miles out of position, even caught on the rotate as well. Despite that, they're still able to get a good stranglehold over the side. You can see why they're confident on the retake game. Now, EDG, this time focus on B, but there's a flank watch from Chichu. He's caught 2 players pushing up, but I don't know that he has a way out this time. Stun was good, and they're closing the distance with a Phoenix Flash soon to round the corner, and Chichu's in so much trouble. But in the meantime, the spike's being planted, so Loud again have to go for the retake, but as we've said, they're pretty happy with that.
Yeah, they've done really well to isolate the flank every single time. Chichu hasn't managed to really get anything. And now it's up to the heroes on the other side to try and hold this one down. QCK off to a flyer.
Oi!
Khan waiting on the corner, looks away, still
Wait, guys.
to snap back. But again, it comes down to 1. Nobody already spawning the first. Just looking to try and wrap back around into that 1v1. The dart should reveal the player on the spike, knows exactly where Sadak is. I'm waiting for him to try and tap that. It's gonna come down to 1. And Sadak is a safe pair of hands once again. Loud will convert a 4th round into their favor. And for EDG, it's close, but no cigar.
Sadak's been leading by example in so many of these rounds. Big one for him to close out. This should be giving them a pretty good lead, as I expect EDG to take a much lighter buy. Going to be some serious deficits for them. On the way back in, we're seeing again and again that this squad, when they have disadvantages, they're able to fight their way through. With the advantages, it got close this time. They're still winning those clutches, and that's all they need. The weakness is actually not that apparent on the side of EDG. They're going for all light shields, which is allowing them 4 rifles to play with. So still some very good potential to this buy from the attackers.
My ultimate's ready.
You look at the ults, that's the major deficit that they have already, getting the run it back online. Hunter's Fury, again, they look perfectly set up if they end up in a retake. And that's what Loud have been playing for in these rounds. A good start, though. Getting rid of Cowsy and also getting rid of a boatload of utility. And EDG are not going to just run off the back of that entry kill. You could see a fast rotation in from Sadak, and instead, they're looking to fall back to the other side of the map.
I know exactly where you are.
I mean, we've seen this a couple of times from EDG. Now with a little bit more information to play with, they're still seeing that these positions are being held, and Loud previously pushed up on A to try to seize this space. That's not the play this time, and it's red on the other side. Chichu sees that. He wants to take the space for himself. A very late flank. 35 seconds left on the clock while he's creeping up elbow. We see the B site under heavy threat. Last in the corner. He hasn't been pushed out of it, but now he's being spotted. This could spell danger. Nobody being tracked. And he's down low. So is Howdong. Everybody, in fact, has seen their fair share of combat. Howdong, though, wants to take down less. Force forward. And Tui's was waiting. A quick double for him. A triple, in fact. And it looks like it's all sealed.
10 seconds left.
QCK even popped the ulti as well. He's running it back and taking down Smoggy. Little showmanship for 5-2.
Yeah, they look like they're right back in the driver's seat. A shaky start to this map for Loud, but 4 rounds in a row once again. They have just looked superior so far throughout this map. And the funny thing is, on the entry, you watch both players at the back of site have all of their utility taken away. The second it comes back online, the snake bites are perfect. the counter utility, the smokes they're putting down, just making things so much more awkward. And then also you just have Tui just pop in anyone's head that even looks at him for a second.
Well, I think that's also part of it. You have Les in the corner firing with his rifle, letting them know he's there. He throws the snake bite, player gets close, and as soon as the second one's fired, he's running at him to punish him. But not able to. Now when Tui's is there, quick shut down to this round with 3 fast kills. QCK right down on mid, and so is the whole force of Loud. You know, 4-player mid push with a Phoenix leading charge. It's not easy to deal with that. Chichu's the last
I got
man
B, guys.
alive.
Guys, I've got B.
On the upside,
B is clear.
They've kept their credits for the next round, Tom. That's I think they're pretty thankful for that now.
Yeah, he had one hero rifle to try and do some damage, and the worst thing is that I feel like they've already made the realization that he must have pushed through behind them. Nice shots from Chichu. They need a whole lot more, but somehow Sadak, even when he doesn't have his gun in hand, still manages to just dodge the bullets. 6-2. It's a little bit more costly than maybe it should have been, but I don't think Loud are going to care. An operator in hand in EDG, I feel like we're right back on Icebox again. 5 rounds in a row, a pause taken, and the coaching staff once again given a chance to try and stem the bleeding.
At least there's already been a bit more promise to this attack side, though. When we saw this pause come in early on Icebox, it definitely felt like it was a bit frantic, and it proved to be as the map went on. Loud had them read like a book. This time around, EDG can't afford to have that happen again, but there's a major difference, which is that KARMINE is online. I think now they've sharpened their weapon from the last map. They just need to find the crack in that armor to take these players down. There's not been too many weaknesses on display for Loud in this series. They've only lost 4 rounds so far.
Yeah, their retakes on the A side have been sublime, so much so that they were pretty happy to actually give it up. And then their hold on the B side with Les at the back of it have also been fantastic. Now, he's only there with 3 kills, but it's just the counter utility that comes out. Tui's the support that's there. And then obviously at times, QCK just taking that aggressive push. And as we've said, throughout this tournament, he has been one of those players that's under the microscope. He's replacing big shoes, whether that player didn't make it to this event or not. He's a talking point. And in the last 2 maps, honestly, he's been sublime. He has been a nuisance for EDG to deal with. Top of the board right now. Here we go. EDG with an investment, rifles onto the board. As said, A-site has been a good place for them to get in. The problem is, the retakes from Loud have been on point.
This is it, Tom. Like, you know, Tui's posted on this angle up in hand. Game hasn't really got started for EDG yet. An opportunity to claim this A side as their own, and oh no, right away. The timing is found, the space is taken, and Tui's is right back out of there.
Hey, he just leaves.
He's set up again for another angle with the op. It's going to be smoked off, but my goodness, Tom, this is not an ideal start for EDG.
No.
Nobody down. They're not going to have a lot of info on the way through.
But the thing is as well, Loud aren't just sitting there. They've already taken B main control, realizing there's no one there, so the rest of the team are able to rotate in early. They're able to claim so much space because the fact is the lurks from Chichu have failed every single time. So they're already there just pounding utility into these players. Chichu's desperately hoping to try and find something, but you expect it to be searched for, and it may not even be needed. The flash from QCK is also just perfect. How long low? And they're waiting. Les is just watching. He knows that Chichu's eventually going to try and make his move. The fact is, Loud at this point are just reading the script. A paranoia into the back. The blinded player stuck. A Molotov that they step into. This is all just perfect. Loud can do no wrong, and how long? He has to wipe the entire squad, and QCK is instant on the trade. They're running a clinic on EDG at the moment. Just fantastic from Loud.
Run it back, and Viper's Pit online for next. 2 away from the Rolling Thunder on Kao and Zine.
Sambil dulu,
with 7
guys.
rounds on the board. And near no promise for the side of EDG to get back into this series. The door is being shut on them, Tom. And I mean,
so
like every single piece of this replay is so good. You mentioned the push-up on B main. It gave them a little bit of information. But from there, the rotate comes in. Les leaves B main, moves to mid, waits for the lurk. I mean, if they had the coach's notes in front of them, they still couldn't predict it that well, mainly because I don't think they'd be able to read them.
never know. They're a team of many talents at this stage. 2E's maybe in a little bit more trouble than we've seen before as they look to put the pressure on much faster. I don't mind this approach from EDG. The fact is, a lot of the time they've been given this control by Loud. They're already going to spot the Sadak is here early. Again, though, when you have a run it back in play, you're more than happy to just go for a retake. Hunter's Fury thrown out. Nobody just desperately trying to find an opening kill. That's one of the things that EDG have pretty much failed to get in almost every single round after shock and spam! What from Kalian? He just predicted where his opponent was going to go. Run it back now in. Utility set up to try and play QCK into position. They're watching for it, but he still takes down KARMINE. That advantage was never had. The spam almost eliminating Haldong. Wallbang in. It's just one left. They're cleaning house. Loud making this look so easy. Another flawless round to make it 8-2.
It's a hard one to find hope in, but I can swing it. Hope for EDG? Maybe not. Hope for Loud in the future of this tournament? Yeah. Oh, hell yes.
If they keep playing like this, they're back in contention, because that's been the thing that's sort of been a bit shaky for them so far, is they've not looked bad, but they've not looked like Loud.
Yeah,
this is looking like Loud. This is looking like a champions winner. This is looking like a team that have been at many events before.
They have looked like Loud. They've just looked like Loud at a Masters event, not Loud at any other event. But now, finally, we're seeing this team at a Masters be able to put up numbers. One map already secured.
Yeah.
More than halfway to getting this one. And EDG, they haven't even got off the starting point. 2 rounds on their attack. One player already lost to start this, and it's Chichu. This is why you're going to see those breaks pumped way down. They have to watch B, they have to watch A pushes, and with those extremities being watched, there's only one man you're going to rely on to try to punch through this defense. It was KARMINE, sent through for spams, finds nothing. They are just looking for an opportunity right now.
Do you know, I wonder if, like, Genji is out there going, well, we can't play them again, right? Because we already played them. And then Senna going, well, they're from our region, so we can't play them again, right? It's just like, both seeing who can make the better excuse as to why they don't want to play Loud, because I wouldn't want to face them. Of all the teams we're seeing, look to make it to the playoffs. They're looking fearsome. Now a gap, well, it was left for a millisecond. Sadak, I think there might have even been a flicker of a knife in his head for just a moment.
30 seconds left.
30 seconds. They have no map control. They are just looking to take it to the elbow. The flash, perfect. He hasn't killed anyone yet, but QCK, he just slaughtered every member remaining of EDG. Any questions that were being asked of this man now? Gone. Gone. 18-5. He's had a field day on the defensive side. Phoenix.
We've talked a little bit about him struggling to break through the sights at the entry role, but I'm not even sure what role I'd call this. He's just shooting people. He's
playing attack on defense.
18-5, 9-2. EDG, one last chance to put a round on the board here on the attacking side, make it 9-3 at the half. It's not a lot of hope, but it's a damn side better than what they'll be facing otherwise. Coming into it, they're up against a Viper's Pit. They're up against a Rolling Thunder, as well as just what Loud have been bringing to the table again and again.
Has Les actually used the Viper's Pit the whole half? I think he just used it now because he was like, oh.
I think that is the first. I mean, when have they needed it?
No, exactly.
Unless you're going to lock down B main, which again hasn't really been challenged for that aggressively and certainly not successfully from EDG. There's been no pressure, zero pressure from this squad.
You know the little like challenges you get. He's just like, oh, I've got to do my challenge, so I'll just use my ult in the last round.
yeah. I got to use one more ult to get my points.
He's trying to complete the battle pass, guys. Come on.
I mean,
okay.
Ambitious with the Rolling Thunder on the back of the reveal. This is going to be big. That's caught quite a lot of players, even towards elbow. It's keeping KARMINE in position. The ult was used. Smoggy can be revived, so Loud might want to compete for mid control. Maybe this can work out for EDG to force another fight. Instead, Kalian wants to try to get a little angle. He's got a spam on it, but he's traded out. That's what EDG wanted. The man advantage sits in their favor as they move towards B, and they're bypassing this Viper's Pit entirely. Sadak needs to be careful here. He's playing a risky game up against KARMINE. The flank is underway as well. Look, Chichu's thread the needle straight through.
Yeah, the thing is, it might actually end up bad for him. I think the steps will be heard, so he should be able to catch Tui's this time.
Sada can stop it.
He's been expected.
Oh!
And even still, it's looking like they might finally get another round. Not quite anything for Sadak, and now it's left on to less. Finally, after a long hiatus from the board, we do see another round, the last round of the half, go the way of EDG. But let's be real, Mitch, this has not been a pleasant outing for them.
No, it absolutely hasn't. EDG coming up against Loud. I think we were all expecting this to be a close one. After what we saw from EDG in this tournament so far, the Paper Rex game, for God's sake. But here is Loud, a team we talked about being on weakened form. And they've got 9 rounds set to close this series out 2-0. EDG need a lot of hope. I'm not the one to find it. Maybe we can hear some words of encouragement from Haodong after his last game.
大家好，我是 EDG 的浩东，在队内担任 IGL， 还有烟味，感觉自己还需要很多调整的地方吧。其实他们打的东西一直是一成不变的吧，我个人感觉是这样的。但是其实今天的失败的更多原因是来源于我们自身吧。应对的方式很简单，首先我觉得失利首先是从游戏内容吧，先从游戏内容里面抓问题，然后再从游戏外面再抓心态上面的问题。 我们队伍其实大家都会互相承担一些问题吧，然后我觉得我们队伍不会出现那种一场失败就把整个人击垮的这种人吧。
Be aware of this, and even as the turret comes back up for a moment, it's too late. They've already gotten past, and it's Con, the danger man. Now operator in hand, dash online, Bladestorm in the back pocket, and he's making his way forward. He's making noise while the rest of his team come in to fill the gaps.
每次打世界赛吧，大家本身抱有的心态就是。 这其实是最后一次世界赛，大家每次都是带着这种心态来的，包括下一场比赛，还有包括昨天对阵 Paper Rex 的比赛，其实都是一个最后一次世界赛的心态去面对。我想说，就是可能在职业选手这整个职业生涯里面，可能会打很多次世界赛吧。然后，包括我们其实每次都会觉得这一次世界赛有可能是我们5个人的最后一次世界赛。我想着就肯定是，就是说白了，珍惜每一次机会嘛，然后把每一次都当成最后一次来打。 如果说这样的话，其实个人觉得是更能发挥我个人。
Well, learning from defeat for EDG, they'll certainly have a lot to learn from this series so far, Tom. But it's not a defeat yet. 9-3.
The Loud Science they're so good, but they're so toxic. Did you see that one?
No, I didn't.
Will it be a QCK 2-0?
Oh. Quick 2-0, I like it. I like it.
So they master of puns.
Going out.
Especially because he's got quick 1 in his name as well. Would it be a quick 1? That would have been good as well, but it's fine. Forgive it.
Here we go. Leading the charge is QCK. He has been fantastic in this matchup so far. 18-6. A side going to be completely under their control. Now the same idea is in play from EDG. We've seen a lot of teams go for the retake on this side. Paranoia still available, shock darts, an extra flash for Smoggy. They have the utility to do it. The question is, do Loud even let them get that far?
Well, there's certainly been a lot of promise on the Loud retakes, like you said. EDG look to capture some of that magic. Smokes are down. The retake's underway. Flank spotted as well. Loud have a good idea of exactly what EDG are trying to do. The crunch comes in and they're ready. Con dropped right away, but a quick fight back. EDG still have some life in them with Smoggy picking up another. It's down to a 2v2, but QCK stands strong. Nice shot by Smoggy, but the molly at his feet. Too hot to handle. 10 rounds for Loud.
He's looking like a different beast today, but genuinely. This QCK is someone that was clearly seen by... That's the thing, at this point, I think that you could give Sadak anybody, and if he goes, yeah, he's good to go, it wouldn't matter who it is at this point. But I think he could bring back some, like, 40-year-old FPS player. Maybe he could bring back Lothar. No, sorry.
FPS player? I don't know about that. If it was
he plays Valorant.
It was a card game version, sure.
Wow, toxic. I believe in you, Lothar. Here we go. 10-3. This flash.
Whoa.
Blaze Kawasin's just taken down the 2 players who were lined up ready. QCK is looking to try and heal himself back up. Bear in mind, Konkon has actually invested. An interesting one. I didn't expect to see a Spectre light shield But I guess just the scenario so bleak, he was hoping that maybe he could bridge the gap with some... Not even that, a hero spectre. I don't know if that's ever been said, and well, I understand what he was going for there, trying to hit a timing on the player droning, but it's safe to say Sadak had friends waiting by.
Well, the pistol rounds have been going to Loud again and again. This time, though, they're able to build on the back of it. This is the real tragic thing. Just look at the timeline there. Round 2 and 3 went to EDG. They upset them on that second round. I even remember, Tom, I said, now we've got a game on our hands, didn't I? I had to say that. Here we are. And for EDG, you know, there's a lot to talk about in their previous games. In this one, though, 5 rounds across the series so far. Loud have just had complete control. Their bye round here represents a chance to put the foot down, at least make this scoreline a little bit closer. But again, the man winning those opening duels doesn't change. He's taken damage and now finally dropped. Kankan's made it out a lot. Kalin's dead to the nade. He just stood in it. Smoggy's taken down less. Okay, well, it started out poorly, but it's been recovered. It was starting to be recovered nicely by the side of EDG. Not again. Not in rounds like this. Chichu, the player pushes a smoke against him, and he wins it. Come on. Loud just can't lose.
No, not a third time.
Not a third time. And it's not for
Wow.
EDG.
Got 3 kills pushing through smokes.
13-3 dong.
2-3. I could chop up every one of those kills and say EDG were unlucky in every single one. They should have won that round.
I can't believe the 2Es just got away with that. That's absurd. Like, every single one of these is him just peeking into an angle, puts a smoke down, runs out the smoke, kills a guy, goes back into the smoke, runs back out the smoke again, and kills another guy. And it just... Even Sadak's face is like, that was just dirty. Oh, I feel a little bit ill. 12-3.
How do you think EDG feel on that stage?
Oh, we've casted fast best of 3s in the past.
Had our fair share.
Yeah. Gambit versus Crazy Raccoon. That was the one. That was one to remember. That was maybe even a little bit quicker than this.
Occupies a very small slot of my memory.
Here we go.
Can store that in a $2 USB. Well, 9 chances to close it out based on what we've seen so far. You know, Tom, it's anyone's game. Not really. This has got to be the one time. It's a concrete conclusion. This timeout from EDG, I definitely admire them for taking it.
They'll get to stay on the stage a little bit longer.
Oh no. Double their time on stage in this map. No, I'm kidding. But maybe they will. Not just because of the timeout, but because of the rounds they'll win following it. EDG won my heart. I even remember on the desk yesterday, I said, it's a team I've massively underestimated. The second I stop underestimating them, they fall apart.
Yeah, but I think, as you said earlier, the one real benefit, well, the one only benefit, is the fact that we are seeing Loud in terrifying form and looking to make their way through to the playoffs. Playoffs that, well, we definitely want to see them if they're going to continue up their run like this. Smoggy, flash is good, but less is there. Playing counter once again. Chichu about to be under some serious pressure. They're trying to counter out QCK, but he ain't stopping. He knows there's a guy stuck in the corner, and he's going to clear him out and take down Karkan as well. This man has started off this map in real form, and he's looking to finish it in the same way. Kawazine is going to put another in the dirt. It's left all onto nobody. The fact is, nobody is standing in Loud's way, closing out this series. A obliteration of EDG as Loud make their way to the playoffs easily.
Looks like the curse is finally broken for their Masters runs. They've made it deep into the tournament. Top 4.
Loud.
And they've looked so damn good doing it. When we talk about teams looking weaker, Loud were top of the list coming into this event. We thought they would do well. They struggled, they stumbled, but my God, they found their feet. On the other side, EDG. GG and well played indeed. This tournament has been remarkable from this squad so far. A shame to close out their final series like this, but it's definitely not representative of what they've been able to bring to the international scene. I think Kankan will be a name most teams are scared of in the future, just not in this series.
Yeah, especially when we know what the next Masters is going to be. I think he is going to be a name that everybody is going to be shouting. Unfortunately, after victories versus Paperex, a close game versus Genji, it wasn't quite to be today. But for Loud, this was a statement matchup. They came in a team that had beaten them before in a Masters, a team they beat in a close series at Champions. They have obliterated them in this matchup, and now look to go through into the playoffs. And as said, if I'm one of those top-seeded teams, I don't want to match up against Loud.
Well, thanks to their Phoenix, this most certainly was a quick one. 24-7. A player that we've highlighted on the desk throughout this event as having struggles. That's what the community narrative has been, fitting into his role. Say he looks pretty damn comfortable now and terrifying for anyone facing this Loud team moving on in the tournament. And moving on with our games for today, it's time to throw this one over to the analyst desk.
Thanks, guys. I mean, a quick day of work, you know? Not bad at all. Goodness gracious. I genuinely blown away. Let's just jump right into this real fast, go into our HyperX Reflex moment of the day, because it is going to be QCK. We're going to give this man his flowers finally on the broadcast, Mimi. He had a lights-out game.
Quick really stepped up today. I mean, it seemed too easy for him, the way this guy was playing. When he was on the Phoenix, he was working into these retakes incredibly well, setting up his flashes with his squad, and also just fragging individually, and it was the same on the Jet. This guy has a lot of doubters, for good reason. I'll admit, I was one of them, but I think he's dispelled a lot of that criticism with his performance today, especially if he can keep this up into the playoffs.
Yeah, it feels like, you know, most importantly for this instance here, right, especially with QCK having like this big impactful game, this should be a massive uplift for them, right? Because we constantly talk about Aspas was the playmaker for the team. Was QCK going to be that guy? And he didn't necessarily need to be that guy, but I felt like we finally
But he's finding who he is.
Yes,
and I think that's what really matters for Loud, finding who they are themselves in 2024.
Yeah, this is going to be super fun to see what Loud can do in the playoffs, but of course that means we have to say goodbye to EDG, Edward Gaming. An exit that I genuinely did not expect. A grand total of 5 rounds won by the #1 Chinese squad. That is heartbreaking, Mimi.
Yeah, and this is a team, again, we talked so much about it in the pre-show, about how this team just kept getting better and better, but they really fell apart in these last 2 matches. The mental was crumbling, the rounds weren't sticking together,
What do you
and
think
they
it
were
was?
up against...
What would you chalk it to?
It's so hard to place.
Yeah.
I really think that they just somehow, after that Genji game, lost faith in the system, lost faith in themselves, and didn't find it in themselves to bounce back after. Unfortunately, they're home, but Loud, looking good.
What a day. But let's go ahead and hear from the man of the hour. It's Sadak standing by with Kukuka.
Y estamos aquí con Sadak. Vamos a hacer esta entrevista en español porque la ocasión lo merece y obviamente él nos la va a dejar hacer así. We're here with Sadak after that brilliant performance coming in from Loud. So the first question is going to be, what a brilliant performance there on Icebox. EDG picked that map, but you definitely show them how it played. Did you imagine that it was going to be such a dominant performance? Sé que me has entendido, pero te repito la pregunta. Menuda performance que habéis tenido en este Icebox. Ellos lo escogen, pero vosotros les dais una lección, impartís cátedra. ¿Cómo ha sido eso?
Y la verdad, cuando vimos que ellos escogieron Icebox, dijimos, buenísimo, o sea, es nuestro mapa, nos sentimos muy cómodos, así que entramos con mucha confianza y la verdad salió todo bien.
Basically, when we saw that they picked that map, we were like, that's so good. We feel super comfortable in this map, so everything is going to go our way, and it definitely did. Next question is going to be about QCK, about Quick. Many people have had questions about, you know, who he's replacing, yada yada. I know that he has not had an easy day, and I want you to tell us how he's feeling and how do you see his performance on the big stage. Ya sabemos que no ha tenido un día facilito. Quiero que me digas tú, como su IGL y uno de sus mentores, ¿cómo estás viendo su performance y qué tal está él?
Y la verdad, yo estoy muy orgulloso de él. Para quien no sabe, él durmió solamente 2 horas. Esta noche se la pasó vomitando, tuvo que ir al hospital, la pasó muy mal y le dijimos, quédate tranquilo, haz tu mejor. Lo que pasa es que el mejor del muchacho es muy bueno, la verdad. Así que estoy muy orgulloso, es un guerrero, la verdad que muy orgulloso.
Okay, so basically for those of you who didn't know, QCK was sick. He only slept for 2 hours. They were telling him, hear me out, just do as good as you can. Nobody's going to look down on you if you don't perform. The bad thing is that the worst of this player is actually pretty damn good. Well, with this, thank you very much. We will see you in playoffs. Anybody that you want to face off particularly?
Realmente no quería enfrentar al otro equipo de América, a Sentinels. Después el resto, buenísimo. Así nos vemos en la final, quién sabe.
He doesn't want to play against Sentinels until the finals, so we'll wait and see it there. Don't go anywhere, we have another matchup, KC versus PaperX, right after this.
It's the rubber band match between two teams that could very well go the distance.
Two teams synonymous with their regions. EDG has been the #1 Chinese representative, and Loud was the one to stop them last year. They have a chance to do it again.
They've got to be extremely careful. Tui's needs to time this just right.
Over for 4v3, it might be down to just one.
Very few defenders left standing. In fact, now just one. Smoggy's on all fours. Howdong tries to get back to
Be right up behind them. First kill's free and he'll close it. Loud come in with one of the most dominant performances we've seen in the tournament. They are one step away from making it to the top 4.
We've hit a reset point. We've gone into sunset. Man, am I worried about EDG.
This is a confident-looking KARMINE.
combat. Howdong, though, wants to take down less. Forced forward, and Tui's was waiting. A quick double for him. A triple, in fact.
The spam almost eliminating Howdong. Wallbang in. It's just one left. They're cleaning house. It's left all onto nobody. The fact is nobody is standing in Loud's way, closing out this series. A obliteration of EDG as Loud make their way to the playoffs.
Lah, gak ada terus, ada dong. Halo, Ipi. Makan dulu tadi. Kak Rachel gak live kah? Enggak, dia lagi sakit katanya. Oke. Kita main dulu sebentar, guys. Apa ya? Ini dah Zuma. Kapan Kak Rachel live? Belum tahu. Bang Kini layarnya, cok. Bentar. Nanti habis ini kita coba game yang lain. Nah, oke kan? Udah berapa menit nih? Masih belum lah ya. Mulai, waduh. Jangan mulai lah. Nanti dulu mulainya ya. Belum ada alatnya. Harus ada alat dulu. Kita coba ini kali ya. CS sebelum ini. Watch party lagi. Map yang mana ya? Anubis coba ya.
Remember, this isn't the killing house anymore. This is real life. He's got the bomb.
Gak coba mabar sama Bang Goni, Bang Izza. Main follow kalau ini, kalau mabar. Nanti coba mabar lah ya. Oh. Iya. Oke. Udah mulai belum? Oh, belum, masih aman. Ini lawannya bot ya? Kok nggak beli senjata, Bang? Iya, ini pakai bot. Ya. Kenapa? Udah. Aman.
Let's show them who we are.
Apa lagi? Baru aja ini beli, cok. Dia baru upload konten katanya. Bang Izza kapan mau ke stage MPL? Nanti kita ketemuan bang, sekalian ketemuan sama Karinjal dan Bang Boni. Belum tahu kapan ke MPL-nya. Bang Izza tinggal di Jakarta kan ya? Gua tinggal di Bandung, IP. Oh Bandung, ya di Bandung. Ya kalau mau nanti kita janjian bang ke MPL. Oke. Gas aja nanti. We'll see ya. Kalau nggak sekalian buka bersama bang, kan bisa sekalian foto-foto tuh. Pasti seru tuh. Oh iya, benar. Benar. Tapi we'll see. Soalnya kan jauh juga, Bandung Jakarta lumayan. Bentar. Ini kemana nih arahnya? Coba. Aman aja guys, masih belum mulai. Calm down. Kabarin di mana ya nanti. Saya udah install IG. Waduh, kenapa dia uninstall? RAM HP saya nggak cukup, kebanyakan M. Oh. Emang HP-mu apa? Iya. Xiaomi bang, RAM 4. Oh, HP Xiaomi. Kira HP apaan? Kok bisa nggak cukup gitu? Nice one. Oh, udah mau mulai. Kita mulai lagi watch party-nya, guys. Live sampai sahur, Bang? Iya, kayaknya sampai sahur lagi.
Both teams here looking to move past
them, their opponent in this competition. This is going to be a tough game through and through. For PaperX, they're a squad that really rides the momentum of the moment. But for KC, for Carmine Core, is it about being drilled, the structure, the plan of attack that they have here? Whether or not PaperX will just blow the whole thing up.
Carmine Core, they've been tested before, but this is going to be something very different. Something they've
Oke,
never
kita
experienced
end kan dulu.
in EMEA. This is the day where they have to figure out if they can adapt to a team like PaperX.
We were
Kita
thinking
ini
and
lagi
saying
vote
that
lagi.
2024 might be the year for the rookies. Well, KC should be the one trying to prove that. Of course, we also have a new face on PaperX, but we have known them for a very, very long time. People are also saying a tournament without Fnatic, without Energy, without all of those heavy hitters, especially DRX. Yes, exactly. When is going to be PaperX's moment to lift the trophy?
That's a great question because it's been some time. Remember, this is a squad that was runner-up at champs last year, right? They have had so many great opportunities in their career here, but to get Monnier a trophy lift, for this team to have that moment would be huge.
I think it's almost more about Monnier getting it for the rest of his team, stepping up, filling those shoes, bringing this PaperX squad back to those finals they've made before. But let's talk about the map, Vito, because I think this is where it gets really interesting. Both these teams play very off-kilter comps. You're not gonna
Saya off dulu ya, Bang. Oke. Thank you udah mampir.
always get in a match like this. We're starting on bind.
Nanti
Last time PaperX played this, they
kapan
lost.
live lagi? Gua kabarin lagi di Instagram.
They were showing with this Harbor Raze composition, with Arena in there too. I think they have really creative ways of executing the site and of kind of pathing their way around.
Thank you udah mampir.
The Raze player on the dive.
So here's the thing, right? I do disagree with one part. I was not very surprised because I like the harbor, I like the intention, you know, of doing something different. To me, the Reina was very lackluster. Like, I did not understand the final point onto why you would choose Reina above something else.
But you did. That was a something.
Sorry.
That was dreadful.
Sorry, I didn't do it on purpose.
But the thing is, you don't understand why they choose Serena until something has a game. He has had a very slow tournament up until those last two maps yesterday. I think it's not the optimal pick, but if something is playing like he was last night, it is a dangerous pick for KC to go up against. Things for this team to watch out for is how aggressive PaperX is with these fast site hits. If you're playing on the site, if you're playing backside A, you are going to get...
Iya, maksudnya lah kan saya udah uninstall ID, Bang. Oh iya, nanti. Maksudnya kalau kamu di komputer gitu. Ya sudahlah. Oh. It's okay.
Carmine Core and specifically Martin has to be the one finding those holes and actually taking advantage of.
Bye, EP. Thank you udah mampir.
But the two youngsters, Nere and Martin, have been electric in Madrid thus far. If they can keep that up, if they can compete with PaperX, there's no doubt that KC would be a player in the playoffs.
It's time for our final match of the Swiss stage and to find out who will be remaining in the playoffs. This is going to be a game with a lot of fireworks, so I think we're going to need to bring out the big guns. We got Pansy and IPOC.
That's incredibly kind of you, GB. But yeah, this game itself, to me, Mike, is feeling like a question of form. We've seen these teams look hot. We've seen them look pretty cold at times. Where do you stand on this matter?
I mean, it's a really interesting matchup in terms of kind of the style of both teams, right? Without a Fnatic Evolved, without an EG of last year, this is the Chaos meets structure, really. The best. We're probably going to get it at this event. We get straight into the pistol round here. Martin, typical position here. Going to take a deep peek on the shore. Something a mind freak here, seemingly aware of the possibility.
And looks like Martin not afraid to particularly show presence, so that's going to be that card removed from the initial start. But again, this to me is just purely I have to wait and see what we see from these two teams, which sounds silly, right? It almost sounds like obviously that's what you're going to do, but because there's been such disparity in the way they've looked leading up to this point.
And also taking into account yesterday's performance, right?
Yes, of course.
It's the old, if you can carry that momentum across to today.
Well, I mean, then you summon the PaperX of old, right? Or the one that strikes fear into every team's hearts because they are hard to handle. And it looks like Shin's going to be the one to have to try and deal with it. Going to try and depend a little on Magnum too, but he's been already forced away. Pressure on the site, and it's Monnier there. Shin's gone down. The site is somewhat under PRX's hands. Can they confirm it though? Can they get that plant down with any threat? Looks good so far, focusing mostly towards elbow to gain that control. Plants in, time's on their side, but there is presence on long here.
Actually, the flank comes through, two towards long, one still outside Martin here, outside Hookah, and actually Mindfreak going walkabouts here. Going to be punished for that. Magnum giving up a lot of space here, but PaperX can't really find it. Thomas is already on the defuse.
Yeah, they need to get a challenge on that, and they do. Forsaken knows what he's up against, trying to do the damage, and Monnier is firing off today. That's what you want to be seeing as well. Magnum, the last one alive, trying to play it back in from CT, but they didn't achieve half on the defuse earlier. A tap on the spike will confirm he's no longer on it. Something with that wide swing around. PaperX, good beginning here.
Comfortable here. Really, with this flank coming through the TP, I think maybe KARMINE are thinking there's two, potentially three bodies. I mean, with a lack of information and Magnum taking such a deep position, there's some real questions about exactly what's going on site.
Yeah. And one of the caveats to me is Monnier. Now, we've seen his performance not quite to the highest echelons yet. He's had some very good games when activated, but I mean, we all noted Benji Fishy calling him out, and then what happened. But regardless, good to see him off to a very strong start. And Mindfreak, yeah, farming. Read it well. Dealing with Magnum and Martin in the very beginning here.
Healing over here.
Just going to be going through the motions. They've already done a great deal of damage. I don't need to particularly over-commit anywhere. Just need to be a little careful on the way back in case anyone's trying to fill that space behind them after the contact towards the long.
Mindfreak does actually give it up here. Narrate can be played in on the Frank. Opportunity to maybe apply some pressure. Taking the long way around though. PaperX will get a clean plant.
Let's see if any of those potentials could come in. Nah, it's looking good. Narrate's been caught. Last two not really entertaining much of an attempt. So Shin and Tomasi are going to have to just kind of accept that this is going the way it's going. But again, for PaperX, this is good composure shown here in this second round. This should keep all those weapons standing, especially that prized possession in the hands of something. That's the key component to them going forward. And again, you're going to have the likes of that Bulldog still in play as well. A couple of other little bits and pieces. Going to really bolster that going into the bonus. For PaperX, this is a good start. Cool, calm, collected. No threats found here. I'm going to give it up to the spike just to ensure none of those orbs could have been farmed on them.
Right there.
Of course, all this weaponry as well, so I think round 3 very interesting for PaperX. Only really Martin will progress towards the ultimate. See whether or not they're going to take a proactive approach here to the defense, take the fight to PaperX.
Even the sentence.
That's all order, yeah.
As soon as you say it, it's like, whoa. I want to see if they're upselling with that bonus as well. Do they have something in mind? I hate the fact that there's a player called something because it makes me constantly say it. It's like if he cast big, oh well, okay, at least he's getting kills with it. And Narrate's just been removed. He got to look at this round and then it was just taken away. Unlucky. And now the sight hit comes in off the back. Already big pressure from Monnier. Gap closing perfectly. Tomasi just massacred. That's perfect. Great work from Monnier. Gets the upgrade, sits back towards Showers. Job done. Those two will need to be saving here. There's no two questions about it.
Well, the question, I guess, if Monnier can carry that form across to today, that explosiveness still remains for sure. Only 2 left. Obviously, Shin and Martin going to give this one up.
Hello? Device face.
A bit of a... something stunned.
Oh, you love to see it.
Another moment where you just wish you had comms.
I know, wouldn't it be great?
That was a nudge to production. We can't see.
You're bold. But yeah, we'll pray. Does KARMINE Corp get to keep these rifles? I think they will. Definitely no one close enough towards Martin, but just curious if Shin was maybe going to get a challenge on that, but no. All good, no harm, no foul. But for PaperX, look at this gap close coming from Monnier. The fact he gets away with this, and there was no awareness coming out from Magnum there, just seemingly swept aside by that.
That's the audio we're missing.
Look, we're not allowed fun. All right, no fun allowed. How dare you request it? Oh, it's broke at the back of Karmine Core. And if you're the Karmine Core fans out there, right, you're kind of hoping that they came out with a strong start. Maybe correct a little bit, maybe that confidence deficit they would have been playing with after being kind of pushed around. A lot of people saying they've been performing under expectation, which I think is a fair critique. Because there was such high hopes for this team coming out of kickoff, and they looked exceptional, but hasn't quite lived up to that. And again, the pace is unrelenting. Look at this, Monnier and something instantly dominating the space, and it's going to force them to respect this. I would say Magnum is a little behind enemy lines, but can he make anything of it?
It's going to be tough. With only a sheriff in hand yet. Oh, yeah, all land.
Are they going? Yeah, the gap closing now. Monnier going to be put to test, put to task. Oh, that's rough. Blinded, and Monnier just popping off. Yeah, farm him up. Even spotting the right there. Over towards Shybox. This guy's on for it. He's absolutely on the money today.
Ace.
Any questions you had, Lauren?
Hey,
the opening 5 rounds.
Keren.
Definitely a statement being sent. Karmine Core would argue that MEA counterpart setting them up for failure today, stoking the fire of Paper X.
And you're absolutely right, isn't it? You're almost seething if you're thinking about Heretics. Could you have not?
Just play it down a little bit, yeah. Just
relax,
yeah.
be humble, be like the fans on Twitter. Be, you know, how dare you give it, you know?
Neilzinho hate club has just grown exponentially.
Poor old Neilzinho, man. Oh, God bless him. Well, let's see, does, I think it's Martin there on the other side, yep.
Gak tahu tuh. Okay.
Lovely early protocols. Again,
yeah,
we often kind of compliment Karmine Core and other teams with that, you know, the protocol list, and you've got Eng in there, you know, you've really got, you know, those glimmers of Gambit, all of that stuff. But you've got to give credit where it's due as well. Paper X, yeah, but they're a little bit more simplistic at times in the way they approach the game. Obviously, mechanically is their high point, but they're still very diligent about any of these clears, always very heads up in their work.
That's the definition of thriving in the chaos. They're able to create it and benefit from it. A few other teams have. Slow down here at least by the poison orb. Snakebite to follow up.
Right there.
Monnier chomping at the bit. Taking a very aggressive angle here.
Well, he's had Magnum's number. This time it's Forsaken, but it could have been either. He's absolutely been dominating this site. Now they're going to try and play in a little bit mid-tempo almost. Karmine Core try and take a little bit of space back here, but there's going to be no reason to fear them. They've been sweeping them every time, and Monnier is just a demon. You can't get away from him everywhere they go. It's only Shin to bite back so far, and even then, just about converting onto Monnier, but there's the back lines. There's still something with that operator. Still willing to take a chance. Does Martin get any more play off this? Couple flashes, but not a lot of time. One close. Yeah, Forsaken not even going to let him get off that spike. Paper X in full form here, Mike, and Karmine Core don't have an answer.
No, expecting a timeout pretty soon. Yeah. Karmine Core to take stock and maybe come up with a way to really try and control the early round here, because Paper X, one of the worst things you can do is give them freedom. Give them space to, you know, do what Monnier's doing here. Take really aggro pathing with your satchels. Get up in the faces. And bring the fight to you. It's very hard to sit back and play retake versus a team like Paper X. So they always convert this space into a kill, maybe two, but there's very few options, to be honest with you, other than fight fire with fire.
Yeah, it is that choice, isn't it? Okay, we can sit super deep, play full retake, but we
Paper X will keep pushing.
Of course,
you give them
you
give them backside, they go spawn, they go deeper and deeper.
So take space elsewhere, try and hold some part of it, but it's easier said than done. Teams with, you know, even bigger experience of struggle in this case. A lot of people, and when we talk bigger picture, Mike, while we're in this timeout, a lot of people look at Loud and go, okay, are they in championship form? You know, and how do they fare in this? You can't turn that gaze away from Paper X either, because they're the ones who got to, you know, champs finals. They're one of the old gods at this tournament. They've still held on. Yes, there's been some roster changes. That's not a surprise. But still, they have that potential, and it scares me because round by round and kill by kill, I feel like we're getting closer to what makes them almost untouchable. Karmine Core certainly not touching it right now.
Yeah. Monnier leading the charge 10-2. Looking fired up once again today. Couple of ultimates about coming online here for Karmine Core. Martin still sitting on his, but away from the Seekers. Showstop around the corner as well, potentially, for the next buy round for KC.
Yeah.
Brick's looking to explore towards B long here. Now, Martin does have a TP, but it's very quickly going to get cancelled out. Yeah, he's cancelled out himself here. A pace change for Paper X.
Different site too. We've seen them hammering that A site. A little bit of the stack was in play. Nice from Shin, but just the teeth marks left in the corpse. Down to 4 apiece. A little bit of a pause here. Maybe trying to identify where some of these players may be. They've got to have a good idea.
They're taking the TP, right?
What was that?
They're just in full troll mode here in this anti-eco. Left one posted up here, Mindfreak. Try and police these weapons. I mean, it's an operator, so we know KC are going to want it. Narrate the first to identify Mindfreak's position. Yeah, KC now.
They're running. They're just
thinking better of it.
I mean, the guy's the Iceman. You know what I mean? You don't mercy back here. It's just wild. But at this point, you're looking for silver linings and small bonuses. And Magnum has connected towards Divide, but actually going for the Seekers too. They're really committing on this one. Flash's turn. Something's got a little bit of a heal here. So ult's going to come in, but they're going to run low on time. Keep your eye towards Monnier as well. Still in the case. Still in the mix. He has been a monster so far.
But they didn't know where it was.
He's been outdone. Magnum finds him, and they seem so confused.
KC were looking towards showers.
They had no idea. Thrifty. They get away with daylight robbery on that one.
Well, even at that moment, you're questioning the investment of the Seekers from Magnum, but KC explode back into this retake.
Hey, they needed that, Mike.
Stop the momentum. Potentially, I mean, Martin full commits.
Trying.
Coming out, yeah, Tomazzi, I don't know. Maybe the position wasn't relayed, but he's looking towards bench and showers here. Luckily, a second teammate to pick up the slack. Right, gonna get aggressive here. With his bodies. Plenty down here.
Okay, you said it before, fight fire with fire, and they are setting Monnier ablaze. They're gonna carry on. Martin will challenge. They're getting down and dirty. Something has quelled some of that aggression by taking away Martin, but still,
let's go,
PRX.
PRX.
First time in what feels like forever.
Fast flank coming through as well. You can see already progress outside of hookah. Paperwork's got to be conscious of that now.
Clearing with both of them. That was fortunate not to be a collat at that point. Very nearby. Narrate needs to be careful because they've already slipped a little ahead. He might have heard Forsaken and he definitely knows someone's close by. So
Forsaken, what? He just stepped out of the cove.
Oh god, and Device right here. They've got no idea.
That's done. Quick break.
Look, you can try and play PaperX in their own game, but they are damn good at it themselves. And there was just some audacious moments in that.
I mean, it's one of those moments where Narrate's probably thinking, yeah, it'd be crazy if this guy just walks out of his own smoke or cove or whatever it is. Something able to get I guess, a benefit of timing here. Avoiding the boom bot. Unable to get traded because of the dismiss. But Monnier facing the showstopper. You hear the audio cue. It's one of those things. And Tails as old as time.
You can do it once, you ain't going to be able to do it twice. Something now holding for this aggression. You can see him chomping at the bit, though. He wants in. Tomasi. That was bold to hold that angle. Again, this is welcome to deathmatch.
Yeah.
Welcome. This is now just.
This is the sort of thing that you want to see from K. You don't want to see them lose an opening. You want to then back up and look to absorb a site here. That's just not going to work versus PaperX. They're allowed to execute onto you. I mean, Mindfreak's going to find himself a wide open A site here. The penny has dropped after Tomazzi's challenge. Again, you can't really fault it. Like I said, Tomazzi's posted up, almost posturing a little bit that, yeah, we're going to fight for this site. PaperX at another situation where it's just they're not willing to show any respect.
Spike plant.
Molly here, orbital strike, showstopper, plenty. Post-bomb possibilities here. I was just wondering actually how quick this flank's going to come through, but yeah, Mindfreak's
got to be aware of it, right?
Yeah, I mean, he dropped the smoke. He's back on it now.
Yeah.
He's going to look to orbital strike just for the dog.
He's cooked it. Not ideal in that, and now Forsaken gonna play forward. Paper X still starting to thrive, going alive. Defy and Forsaken in unison. Send them packing. KARMINE CORP are trying. They are trying to play this scrappy game, and it just isn't working for them.
Fortunately here now, I have a lot of scoreboard pressure in this first half, a 6-round deficit. Already seen too much of a switch up here from Paper X, but still seemingly a decent read on the early round. Able to punish this aggression down A short time and time again.
They've got to change this scoreline somehow. Otherwise, KARMINE CORP, their backs will be breaking from the heavy heart just looking at that scoreboard. It's brutal to play against. Mentally, because you're trying to pick yourself up to be confident, take challenges against a team who are running you down. And again, a little bit of variation coming out from Paper X here, looking at trying to adjust towards that B side, or at least an early indication of it. TP committed to, it looks like. Actually, no, going to decide to back away.
Now they're almost faking that they've rotated, creating all this pressure, dumping all this util, but all it is a switch up towards B long. But Magnum's going to sniff it out.
That was good information there in the Seekers, but they are going to go on this. I'm waiting to see Monnier dive in here. They've got to know that Tomasi is still around as well. You can see the Lears there. Martine has found Mind Freak, but they've got the site control. You can already see they've started to really place their banner on this site. Look for the flanks, look for the pressure on the back lines. We need that plant to come in for at least a little bit of safety for Paper X, which they got right about now. 4v5, it gets dicey.
Three coming through hookah.
Got to invest that little bit of utility to try and keep them further away.
Look at the reflank though. Look at Device's position.
That could be huge.
He's got to get there quick though.
Timing, can something hold them back? Can he buy a couple of seconds here? That's all he needs, a couple of seconds. Device done so well. He does catch Shin. Forsaken then called in. It is just methodical in approach. It's a 2v2, but look at the HP. The walk-in wounded, limping towards the site. It's just Magnum left alive, and that is just not gonna work out. Paper X, just outstanding right now. This is them in final full form in my mind.
They have plans on plan. I mean, it's almost automatic as soon as the Trailblazer comes down long.
Yeah.
Paper X know they have to be explosive. Capitalize on that timing. Get ahead of the rotation of KC. Again, you can't even really fault. You look at the minimap here, and when Paper X freeze on this first wave, the first pressure out towards hookah, KC are immediately rotating it. They know that Paper X are trying to find these timings. I think now Paper X starting to play with that a little bit.
Subverting expectation.
It's the pressure now. KC is so desperate to get a round win up. They want to be so active around the map that they create these holes themselves.
This is that experience in play again. You know, we can give Eng all the credit in the world.
Paper X have done this to countless teams. Countless teams.
Best in the world. Best in the world through errors at this point, keep in mind. This isn't just, a team that's only done it once during an X stint when, the meta was X, Y, and Z. No, this is a historic team who's been able to do this over a variety of errors.
Look at it now. Shin's smoked down
long. Look what they've done to him.
This is all on the back of just the one wall coming through, but Paper X might have a mystery here.
Scout destroyed.
There we go. This could be it, but they've got to make it work with very little. Martine's got to be good for it. Spots one, lets him cross. This is huge. The discipline is here, but can he drop the bodies? He can. That's two. A third needed. Not going to get it. They still have a chance here, Paper X. They're up against pistols. What is going on? Something just flew in. Narrate got a satchel kill. What the hell just happened?
One of the most bizarre MasterCard thrifties you'll ever see. Something seemingly thinking he has double the range with a shorty. Very bizarre. And just after crediting them, this is a total misread of the situation. KC finally able to actually win out in one of those scenarios that I was saying wasn't really suiting them up until now.
Operator on, I believe, either side. Yeah, Narrate's got his. Something. Gonna go for it too. And now we're in a bit of a state of flux, aren't we? Things are a little bit up in the air. Are they going for those double fakes again? Are they just going to be, pausing after taking maybe a little bit of space? What are they up to? Lots of question marks. This is going to put Magnum through the ringer. And already Narrate going to find something. So that's his opposing number basically removed, but the bulk of the hit is coming this way.
So Tomasi didn't actually catch the stun there. Will result in the pick coming out in response. Big ultimate to draw out this early on. As he did actually take some damage there.
He's got to be careful.
Among that exchange. Do have a third member here. Narrate has come across with the operator just to hold elbow, yeah. Problem for Shin. I think he's going to take too much damage here and actually rewarded.
Actually, still trying to keep his head down.
He's 10 HP in here.
A little bit of spam, a little bit of a shot going astray is going to at least drop the pit for them. That's a plant now. Mind Freak and Divide. Ult going to be invested from Martin. He's going to try and lead the way. Can he spot these players out? Did he see Mind Freak slip towards elbow? That's the question, because he can try and divide and conquer. The flash is sent, they know it. This is good from KARMINE, but can they have them? Yes! Ult upon ult, they are investing everything. And now Divide in a 1v3. Flash still with Martin. That's about it. And yeah, that's clean from Narrate there. That's fine. He'll be happy with that. And they give themselves a window to work with, Mike. It's not much, but it's there.
Like I said, you come out of this with an 8-4. Feels like a bit of a miracle with how this half kicked off.
Yeah.
KC with a course correction towards the end of this first half. I mean, look at the timeline here. Very, very quick response here from PaperX to apply this pressure towards Zuka, but it's the Viper's bit that really slows them down, forces PaperX to reconsider their approach. And a crucial 4K from Narrate. Really the superstar, I guess, overall so far here in Madrid. 4KC.
Guy's a standout player. Huge potential. Looking for an early crunch towards A. PaperX maybe waiting for that burst here. Yep, there it is. Something they depended on before. Going back to it again, it was brutal. You saw it before. Monnier really ran rampant, but it was actually Magnum this time to hold him back. This is better, but he's not going to be alone. Narrate's trying to close the gap a little here. Might deny Forsaken, he does. Good work. Boombot to follow, but there is a squad of 3 staring him down. The Cove is keeping them safe. Another satchel, another denial. Rotations are coming in. This is great.
It's textbook.
This is really good from Narrate. Again, from that capability before to this, but the rotation, Mike, they're taking the TP. They've got a free sight.
Yeah, something's looking for the backstab. Molly will go down. That will cut off any sort of pressure coming back through from spawn here. Narrate, does he consider the possibility?
He's got to, right? We've seen this.
He's so conscious of taking that TP.
Oh, fight on CT though. Not going to be able to get the follow options there. That is control from Divide. Delivers bullet after bullet perfectly. And now the problems for the final 2, trying to play it back towards the site. Team looking to try and take control with that operator. Look through, see if he can spot someone out. But again, they're playing deep. They're going to make him work for it. Spots something. Over towards Long. Spots Divide. They've seen both of the players. Can they close down on them though? They're not going. Oh, they do swing ahead.
Hey, one.
I mean, it's PaperX, and apparently Narrate can see it just fine. KARMINE Core just about back in this, Mike.
Something unfortunately locked out of the site here with an SMG. No real possibility for him to get much done, but a beautiful recovery. I hate to say that at an 8-4 scoreline, but a recovery nonetheless for KARMINE Core. See if the approach continues here for PaperX in the second half. Apply that same sort of aggression once again, Lauren.
Can they keep it up? Can they keep that tempo up? KARMINE Core scraping together those 4 critical rounds. Is it going to be enough?
That is the question that is on our minds, because it started off quite nicely for PaperX as they were able to put a sizable amount of rounds together. But this actually takes us to our Verizon high-speed moment of this particular half. This one, we start things off with Monnier. Good to see him, really picking up where he left off yesterday.
Yeah, to me, these first 2 rounds were about KC figuring out how these site hits work, with this harbor wall pathing one way, and Monnier having a lot of different variants on how he paths into this site. They were really punishing KC early on. A big mistake to make is wanting to play back site to be able to flood back in against a team like this, so you can fight them while they're execing. But with this interesting pathing and the way that PaperX plays with timings, that's almost impossible to do. So as this half developed, we started to see, I think, some good adaptation from KC, but it was only towards the end that they really figured it out, and this guy was such a big problem to solving that.
Yeah, exactly. Time and time again. It looks like we're going to talk about Monnier every single day, but he deserves it, and I think that play was also a very, very good example example, low buy, you know, because it's a bonus. You have the ability to float them. That's exactly what you need to do on the side of KC. By the way, I was saying the Reyna not completely sold, and I forgot for 1 second that it is something, and he only needs to be on the operator. So of course, I'm still looking at him for this defense side because of the reason why you would play Reyna is to deny those traits potentially when you have the operator. If he has the same effect that he has in other maps, he's a very big threat.
It was a tough half for KC, but they've rallied at least 4. If they can win this pistol round, build some momentum on this half, they can be strong. Their comp is really good at fighting for totally extremities and having really fast rotations with the Euro. They're comfortable here. They have their confidence now. This should be a much closer half.
Yeah, I see a KC that has woken up a little bit. I'm sure these fans are definitely adding to that momentum, but let's see if Paper X quells the fire. We're going to send it back over to Pansy and Hypok.
8-4. Paper X did kick this off with a belting start. No two ways to put it, but Carmine Core have clawed their way back. They found a rhythm, they found a solution, and it got them 4 rounds in pocket. But Mike, do you reckon they can hold on to this?
I mean, it depends really on Paper X's willingness to apply the same sort of pressure here. No, hang on. I thought he was just asking onto sight here, Forsaken with the punish over the top of the truck.
Look at the flank. There's 4
It's so
players.
fast.
Tomasi's got to have heard. Yeah, he's heard all of this. He's just trying to keep his head down, trying not to be spotted. Oh no, is he just eating the
He
paranoia?
picked into the leer.
Oh, it's the leer. Oh no, Paper X sweep through them in the blink of an eye. Oh dear. Flawless.
Absolutely shut down on this pistol round.
Oh, run it back for me one time, because what on earth?
I mean, credit to Forsaken. Not only does he find the kill, but stays alive long enough where this 4-man flank, I mean, isn't really necessary. It's OTT, if anything.
Yeah. Oh, was the leer coming in, and it just screwed him over, didn't it?
1 enemy remaining.
Just peeks out. Device still back here because he's docked through. The Trailblazer comes through, opens up the first 3 players of Paper X to come in. Tomasi just peeks out of the wrong second.
Natural out.
Got a force. Coming through. Something. Oh, the judge. Devastating. I know there's going to be more pressure, but he's down low, so he's got to be a little bit careful on the HP. Martin is already back by sight, but something still doing damage. Gets the heal off and goes in for more. Carmine Core just about staying alive in this. Give themselves just a little bit of safety to get a plant.
Flank once again from short. You see it's been pinged out here. The awareness is here from KC. Magnum reflanking it. Monya, he doesn't catch them though, ahead of the smoke falling.
This timing could be awful. Yeah, that's Monya dead. There's nothing he could have done. Mind freak now. Sitting pretty. What can you do against 3? 2 towards lamps. There's too many bodies there. Carmine Core. There we go. Finding a little bit of an answer there for themselves, but I was a bit worried that, honestly, something's judge was going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's scrappy as anything to kick this off. Something, again, I don't know what range he thinks he has with shotguns. He's jumping out here trying to find another kill. A round 2 flip here for KC.
Nice! Let's go, boys. Insane comeback starts now, yeah?
Okay.
Well, he's called it.
All right.
He's called it.
God, why would you say that? That's literally how you just get swept.
So, we've had so many caught in 4K moments at this event.
Oh dear. Oh.
It's Martin to fall first.
No.
Oh no, no, no.
Oh, no. It's fine. It's fine. They've got 2 vans.
So yeah, massive equipment advantage here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Monya and Forsaken understand the shotgun range a little better than something.
He's just ambitious. He's just a little ambitious.
You can't fault ambition.
No. Oh, there you go. Now there's the pause because you can see that
KC are kind of stunned here, yeah.
They're just like, what the hell's gone on? Because they don't have a beat on the rest of the map either, right? Like the A site's completely unknown. There could be a flank on the way. They have no clue.
Well, these are the sort of compositions that this sort of playstyle from Paper X does run rampant. With no sentinel, there's so many question marks.
The Bucky. How does one feel about the Bucky?
I mean, they're playing in long. They know to try and avoid the danger zone here, but Monya, chance to make something happen. Potentially here. I mean, he's inside the smoke. He's got the paint shell out. You can deny the plant at least.
I just feel like something's going to go wrong. I've just got a weird feeling. Okay, went to
Tomasi eats that.
Center of tube. Heal considered, but they don't really have the foundations for. Oh god! No!
Ah!
Monier's on the side.
Nice.
Get a Magnum, please.
Nice. Nice.
Monier isn't going to get away with this now. Not going to do it. Magnum there grips hold of the round.
Thank God the right click of the Bagi is useless now because Shin's down at 8 HP.
Jadi dakdikduk nontonnya.
There's
HyperX.
a timeline where those right clicks are one-shotting Magnum.
Beaming him. Something is such a nuisance as well. You can see him just playing out perfect.
The timing of this first kill as well.
Nice from Magnum. Well done to him. After almost being cursed. But we do see the buy coming out now. This could be huge.
Seeker's available here for KARMINE. Other side of things, something. Let's have his ultimate. Early showers control for KC. We're expecting more aggression. I mean, 30 seconds in, seems like it's going to come, and Divide is the one with the punish here.
Martin was able to scrape by with one, but the pressure isn't just on one side of the map, it's everywhere.
Oh my god. Why feeder line that up?
I felt it. I got... what the hell is this game? Okay, so Tomasi has space on B, right? He's got them B sites.
Problem is Shin has about as much HP as he did last round.
Oh god.
Tomasi trying to make something work, make this a little more comfortable. Shin will fall as well. HyperX double digits now.
3 of them left with rifles. They can bolster that buy around it as best they can, but this crunch, it wasn't just here though. Again, run your mind back, it was also Monier at the same time taking this space, and it just completely caught off Narrate.
One enemy remaining.
You say don't die, fish? You say don't die?
Because again, it's like you see what, 3, potentially 4 people on this showers bench. You're like, yeah, B's got to feel a little easy right now, guys.
Like, go.
Yeah. It's all encompassing from HyperX, and their ability to punish defaults like this it's just, it's tough to watch, but at the same time, it's beautiful.
Oh, it is. And the question is, how much can Forsaken hold
Look
on
at
to? He's
Fountain.
being hounded, because the hunting squad is on the way, but they've completely lost the A side. Fortunately, he's going to be trying to keep himself alive. Forsaken outplays Martin perfectly, but Narrate is there to try and keep this in their favor. The spike's in CT. What?
They did check close right.
Tomasi played in off the back of that, now position noted, but that spike's still in CT. They might make a run for it towards B. They don't know yet. They don't know how this fight's going to favor. How does it tip the scales? You still have Monier in this position. What is this round? And what is that shot?
How's he getting 2?
He shouldn't be getting 2.
He's got Seekers to deal with as well.
They don't
here as well. It's an open
idea.
plant.
They have no idea. Death creeping around the corner as Narrate now called upon. This guy is damn good, but he is going to need a worldy round here. Oh, maybe he's got it. Paint shell back on Divide. Dipping down, has to slip away. And now Divide in the 1v1, no flash, nothing. 5 bullets. Oh, and Divide's got him. Devastating after Narrate was this close to getting KC back in this game, but it is going to be 11 carved on the board for HyperX.
Trading blows now back and forth. I mean, this is just ridiculous. And the fact that Mindfreak's in a position here to punish Shin. Narrate, unfortunately, again, it feels like this is a free site. So he has the time and the space to get towards long, find a more comfortable angle. Heartbreak for Narrate.
God, he tried.
We almost made that happen.
Such a volatile game between these two.
Yeah.
Like, normally in these rounds, my mind drifts a little, but there's still Stingers out, there's still Sheriffs, there's still a couple of ults that could potentially come into play.
Seen both teams capitalizing rounds like this. I mean, Monya's here with a judge.
Our spike carrier's down.
Mindfreak's just farming on B side.
Oh dear.
Buried.
Can't wait for the replay of that one. What the hell just happened?
It was a Prius moment.
Yes, classic.
We might see the end of the round though. Forsaken. Sharp to it. Magnum now left to try and recover. He's got another one. A third on the round for him.
Yeah, it's been enough to call in the ult, right? Like, this is enough.
Can he get through? He slipped through the spawn.
He has.
They haven't spotted him. They didn't actually see him on the cross.
That's huge. It gives him a little bit of time, right? Like, it's not a lot, but it's enough that he might be able to get a plant down. They have no idea. He could be an elbow by them. You know, they have no idea where he is. This is massive for Magnum.
What position does he take up? He's going to push back towards spawn. And actually, Paperx are splitting. He might have timing here on something.
But does something slow down? Does he wait? Does he try and play this out? He's going to note Forsaken, obviously. He doesn't know about something yet, so he's going to have to just make the best educated guess he can. Is this a good enough position? That might almost help him a little. Something does have full kit, though, so that Lear, he's going to know it now. Which way? You've got to gamble. Did something note him? He's looking this way. Magnum, can you clutch this up? Can you do what Narrate couldn't? You got one to the right, one to the left. He can't do it. Forsaken there. Well played by Paperx. That is 12.
Map point on the board. Right down to the wire once again. KC still, scoreline aside, keeping these rounds close, Lauren.
Yes.
Like I said, trading blow for blow here.
Enemy down. Ready.
Oh.
Yeah, farming. Farming hookah. Purchase will come back for Carmine Core. Showstopper to work with. One away from the pit, two off the Seekers, so some tools potentially here. Can they keep map 1 alive?
I think this patient start. Cautious. Because we have seen that Paperx will run 3 men down down B long, but we are seeing Monnier this time actually pushing up towards A short, holding that judge. How long does he stick around? I think he's
nice. Let's go.
Siding against committing towards it. Divide. Not actually relinquishing the angle. Stuck around.
KC almost trying to bait out a rotation, much the same as Paperx did. But the regress here from Hookah could be rewarded. They might even have time in here. KC have turned their backs.
This is a disaster in the making. They have no idea.
No, he's looking back.
Great turn, but it doesn't matter. The executioner's here. Mind Freak gonna make something out of that. 2 big kills found, but they have a player advantage for Carmine Core. 3 to the 2.
They have a pit to work with, though. Tomazi can lock down this site. Monye going to be able to find an upgrade here. Something's got ahead of the smoke.
He's in, and he's got one. Martin's gone. He couldn't do any more, but he's bought enough time for at least Monnier to get close by, get a rifle into his hands. One on sight, one towards
Oh my God.
Monnier unleashing fury, but he couldn't find Tomazi. Carmine Core live for another round. Barely alive, but they do it.
2 examples of that energy being their downfall. A little overzealous. The approach from both Something and Monye. Punished here. KC will find their 7th.
One enemy remaining standing.
Regardless, so they are both looking absolutely electric.
Reminds me of Mini. Do you know what? I miss Mini.
I do miss Mini.
I wish we could bring him out to these events. You know what I mean?
Just still get him on a React camera.
Oh god, yeah, that'd be great. I think that's just called a watch party, but still, he's not figured that one out yet, which is great. So maybe we can still steal him. So Paperx still on the very verge of tipping the scales. This round, though, they are coming in less equipped. They do have stingers, sheriffs. They still have that rifle on something.
I mean, tools to work with as well. Showstopper potentially if one finds a kill.
You've almost got the full deck of ults on the other side, though, right? You've got everything there. There's a full play stack.
Here.
Now, traditionally, we've seen a couple of variations, but it's mostly Divide playing towards long, so maybe just him showing his hand isn't going to give away too much. That, however, should ring a couple alarm bells, maybe hoping to catch him a little further up towards long, but Carmine Core patiently waiting.
Dog, not sure how many it would have spotted there. Seekers in response here from Magnum. Everybody huddled towards this position. Smoke's about to drop here. Monye caught in the open. Catch Forsaken as well. Not traded.
Let's go.
Damage here, and Device still around. Wait for something though. He's the final boss, and TP comes in. Yeah, nice work from Carmine Core. Quick pivot. Something is trying to hunt them at a similar pace. He is getting to spawn. He might get around the back of Shin here, depending on the timing. But Still, they're going to get the plant. I don't think anyone's close enough to stop that now, so that's going to go down. But the back line, who wins this out?
I think he's going to cash in here. Orbital strike committed.
Divine goes down. Mindfreak did get the trade, but look at this. Something now getting closer, down to 2 on either side. Mindfreak still only with that shot,
Nice
but it might be
banget.
enough. Martin waiting in showers. He's going to take down Mindfreak. It's all on one. Something. And he makes something out of this. Incredibly hard round to try and break back into now with these positions.
Turn back into the flash.
Fought
No
that.
swing from Martin.
Double swing. Lovely, lovely work there in the post plant from Carmine Core. They're keeping this game close, Mike. They're building back now.
They're springing their step. 4 rounds still separate them. Frugal from both sides here in terms of investment of ultimates. Surprised to see the orbital strike come out there. PaperX must have felt pretty good about things. Alex, not so much.
Penn took a beating.
Yeah. But ultimate's still available. Seekers and the Showstopper being the headliners for PaperX. Still got that pit for Tamazi. Martin now try and fish out some information here on A side.
Let's see. He's blocking him, just spotting him out there. How much can he get away with though? Can he slip through towards CT? But all eyes on him, but it's Narrate from up above. Taking down Forsaken and something. Sights now open. Martin not going to be able to convert that kill, however. And they're getting quite paranoid at the flank. They're going to pop the ult as well on top of it. Viper's pit to try and secure this. Monnier with the first man forward, but Narrate with the spray just connects well. This might be enough.
A Showstopper gone. PaperX's opportunities now dwindling. You can see that. Now to consider the save here. So well coordinated. The value amongst these two, Narrate and Martin, to relay this information for a taste of their own medicine here. Won't be able to string together much of a purchase after this, but 2 rifles nonetheless. Mindfreak and Divide carry across into the next.
Good to see this man starting to really heat up here. His first half was, you know, fine, but this, they're already towards the top of the board here. Just 1 kill behind Monnier, who's on 19. So Narrate's starting to feel out the game a little bit, but again, it's just so dangerous. When you're up against 12 and you're up against PaperX, there is that chance they just bring out a mad round that you can't handle. So they've decided it's time for a little bit of a break, a moment to consider. PaperX pumping the brakes here themselves. And to check back in. 3 in a row for Carmine Core to get them to these 9 rounds after what was a very hard first half.
I mean, every team should be having nightmares about a PaperX timeout with what happened yesterday. How quickly things turned around after calling a timeout.
True.
Carmine Core have built their way back into this map. Another buy round and a chance to tie things up. Force the overtime. And not many tools at their disposal now. They're previously pretty frugal in terms of the investment, but a saving grace here that PaperX will only bring in 2 rifles, a couple of sheriffs, a stinger, a Showstopper. Definitely a concern.
Looking to see if they're up to anything, if we're seeing that stack anywhere. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if something goes walkabouts. Him joining them over towards B might be somewhat indicative of it, but again, just kind of scraping together a buy to try and even out the economy a little bit, getting what they can. Something's been a little off on his purchases in that regard, but still, Martin trying to test. He's going to get himself the orb there. Patient beginnings. Does that TP get taken on the other side as well? Looks like it might be if they do spot a player, but as it stands, it's only Martin considered.
Was faking a little bit here, but that should be very indicative of what's going on. In case he can read that correctly. Still happy to let the clock tick away. So they might pivot back towards an A site hit here. A deep smoke from Mindfreak, potentially slowing things down. Nothing going to be found off the Showstopper except for information. KC now dial up the pace towards A.
Yeah, they've got to get moving and they've got to clear. Done by Narrate. That's a tick in the box now. Can they take towards the side? Mind Freak is waiting. Quick little heal. Going to get them topped up here. Flank is on the way, but that's going to be watched. Shin is on flank duty. He's got to catch Monye. CT has the rest of the team coming back through. Martin clears Mind Freak. And now Divide. Something. Shoulder to shoulder.
We spotted him, Monye. Saw him.
Spotted. He's going to be able to... Did he just get seen on the other side?
Yeah, he got seen on the other side.
Okay, so still, that's threat noted. Monye should be dead here. Yeah, 3-man squad waiting for him. Done. Quick turn of attention because look who's on the side. Device now here. Tomasi handles it well. Something can do nothing about this. Too many bodies, too little time. Carmine Corp.
Flawless.
They're back in the game. Double digits made. Maybe OT is now on the horizon.
Without this buy round here, I mean, especially with the showstopper being invested, this PaperX just is itching to make something happen in this round.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, it'll be tough behind this. That could give KC access to overtime.
Nice, let's go, boys. Let's go!
Forsaken, one of his ultimate, something, Empress.
Cutting through.
Nothing else really here. With the TP from Shin. Well, the TP from Shin's going to get right behind this.
Spike.
He's committed to it.
Spike! No! Tomasi and Martin get caught on the cross. That could be it. That Spike is in a disastrous place. Shin doesn't get noted by the flash, but they're so aware. Monye sweeps back through.
Oh, it's just one of those rounds where PaperX decide to walk on you. Round 23, by the way. That's just ridiculous. You let your foot off the gas for a minute.
A second. You thought maybe, oh, we could just cross up towards Hugo. No. No, you absolutely couldn't. And that might be the start and the end of this map. That Spike being lost there. Because they can go back to their
I mean, I love the way the PaperX have just disengaged from this as well. So they know KC have so many question marks here. If they have to shift walk around the entirety of the map, now got the Spike, 40 seconds left, and limited options.
It looks like Narrate be a problem, pull rotation, and pray that Magnum can outdo Forsaken. He's got one flash and a slow rotation coming his way from Monye as well, so he's in a real pickle here. Forsaken has the angle, and he's got the shot. Spike now left, it's all on one.
Let's go.
Narrate, can you do anything? Monye is getting audacious, but PaperX get to 13 and claim map 1.
Great resilience shown here from Carmine Corp. It's tough to ever have to mount a comeback versus a team like PaperX, where every round feels demoralizing. Feels as if you're just getting out-fragged, basically.
Yeah, this is a wake-up call. Welcome to the big leagues, Carmine Corp. 10 rounds was good. 13 was much better.
Excuse me, would you mind taking a picture of us?
Oh, no problem.
Thanks.
Ooh, yes, problem. You need Verizon. Trade in that old thing and get a new iPhone 15 Pro with tons of storage, so you can take all the pics. So many selfies.
A preposterous amount of panos!
That means panoramic. And as many portraits of me as your heart desires.
How about none?
None, yeah, none feels right.
Trade in any iPhone in any condition and get iPhone 15 Pro and iPad and Apple Watch SE all on us. Only on Verizon.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Tengo muchas cosas que decirte ahora, pero antes de empezar quiero que le demos sin freno. Si tú quieres podemos empezar desde cero. Sabes que contigo yo me atrevo y quiero más.
Hey guys, I'm here right now with Coach Alex of PRX. Now that map was quite close. It's interesting because PRX has been described as like having 5 IGLs. So how do you as a coach manage to wrangle all that?
I mean, a lot of it has to do with the way we practice. I think the most important thing is trust. Like, we trust each other a lot, and anyone can take over anytime they want. And we also do a lot of work trying to align, you know. That's pretty much it.
All right, well, so far so good on this strategy, so let's see if PRX can close out this one.
It definitely does come through with this team. We've always talked about it with PaperX. They're a squad that always just kind of like rise in momentum. They communicate with one another. Their comms oftentimes don't even lean on just one individual. For me, it kind of sounds like a Halo match sometimes, where they're all just yapping at the same time. It's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, it is wild. The first half of this game to me was quintessential PaperX. They were out there PaperXing all over them, dragging KC down into the chaos. And that's what I was worried about for such a young team. Playing a squad like this for the first time, them dragging you into that chaos, your comms getting muddled, you experiencing something you haven't really played against before, and PaperX thriving in that. And that was the case for quite a while. But I think we really saw a step up from both these teams to be forced to play a lot more strategically, and actually to KARMINE managing to gain some control in the second half.
And loving those small micro plays that we love PaperX for. We're talking about the Reina denying those trade-ins is something that she can do so easily, and it fits so well to PaperX, and especially to something. Some of these rounds literally made no sense, maybe.
Yeah, it was absolute chaos, but I think you're absolutely right that that's kind of what's defined PaperX for so long, but it's also true of what KARMINE was doing. I think a lot of the good in this map was when they were showing us these Yoru ult combos, they were setting themselves up after that. They definitely learned more how to play against PaperX. It's just that this squad built themselves such a huge buffer on that attacking side, and they're always gonna steal at least 1 or 2 rounds and a half. It's really hard to come back from a deficit against this squad.
And not only that, we saw Casey actually getting lost in the sauce. We were seeing a lot of ultimates invested in just one route to make it through, as you're mentioning. The Yoru, even the Showstopper, everything being used at wrong timings. We see also Magnum struggling a little bit with his own ultimate on how and when to use it, just because of how overwhelming PaperX is.
And that's exactly that. They're the team who's gonna rip any hole you have in your communication, any hole you have in your practice. They're gonna rip that apart because of how chaotic they are. The question now, going into the rest of the series for me, is whether this team for KARMINE can wrangle control of this one, because Lotus, our next map, it feels like for them, that is their comfort zone, and I don't feel like these little combos, these ult combos that we talk about for PaperX are as strong on this next map.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I do want to know what the coach of KARMINE has to say. We have Eng standing by with Mika.
Hey guys, Mika here, and now I'm with Coach Eng of KC. Now, Eng, Magna mentioned earlier that PRX can be a team that is pretty annoying to deal with. So I want to know what they were doing exactly that was so difficult to deal with, and how you guys were able to mitigate that as the side switch.
First of all, they are an amazing team, really, with amazing playstyle, a very unique playstyle. So I don't know what to say, to be honest, because of to be honest, it's a pleasure to play against them. Really, we're learning a lot from this game. So yeah, I don't know, like, but what can I say? It's hard to read them because of this like unique style. Yeah, and I don't know what to say, to be honest. But we will try our best on the second map. So yeah.
That was such a wholesome answer. So let's get to it. Second map.
It almost felt like Coach Eng Kakuka was a little speechless there as well, because I mean, he has expressed praise for a lot of the players that they've met on that stage, but there is something unique and special about this PaperX team.
Yeah, exactly. Eng can be as wholesome as he wants, but he's going to need much more if he wants to face off PaperX now in Lotus. This is the map chosen by KC, and maybe one of the reasons is what happened yesterday when PaperX lost this map. But again, I think it's going to be a lot of what happened on that bind just replicated, and a lot of what happened against Heretics happening again on this Lotus. A Mind Freak that doesn't respect any timings, any position, that's just going to push through, and a lot of crazy and set plays again.
Yeah, it is absolutely a map where PaperX does that same style. But for KARMINE, we have to talk about the history of them on this map. They've been playing the Fnatic comp. They beat Fnatic on this map. They have beat pretty much every top team they've gone up against on Lotus. Here, this is where Magnum tends to put on a masterclass. Their attack side, decision making, the way that they call is always near perfect, quite honestly. And I actually think their style if PaperX is going for these forward plays, they don't have the Reyna to combo. They don't have the same kind of util setups. It's crazy that I'm talking about Reyna as like the big util agent, but they don't have those same tools to set up these combos like they do on some of these other maps. So I think this will be a bit of an easier time for KC to punish when they're playing their attack.
So you mentioned the Lotus situation and them being so good at this map, but I also have to say in the back of my mind that if PaperX comes out just like they did on Vine with a big lead, and then you're like, oh my god, we were supposed to be good here.
Yes.
I get a little worried about the young team on that stage in that situation.
And not only that, we were talking about how Monier is doing great in this tournament, how today specifically he's performing super
On
well.
another level.
And he's going to be leading that race onto Forsaken.
I mean, we saw Forsaken's debut on Race last night.
Loved it, I mean, well, debut, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and this is a crazy switch to make, but it's PaperX. Rules don't matter, agents aren't real.
I was gonna say.
It's PaperX. This is it for KARMINE Core. This is a team who went on a run in EMEA. From Melons to Madrid, they have done something no one could have ever expected of them. And now they're here in an elimination match, a game away from going home empty-handed. These are all young players. For all of them, this is the biggest match, maybe, except Magnum Bay back when, but it's a very different time. It's now him as a leader, and they need to come back here.
And for PaperX, it's quite the opposite. They need to close this in a very good fashion if they want to be contenders for those playoffs. Genji's already waiting on the other side. It could be a great year for Pacific, especially if EMEA goes home this early.
Well, it's now time to see what this KARMINE Core team is truly made of against the game and ready PaperX. Let's send it back over to Pansy and Hypop.
Thank you so much. And yeah, this is putting question marks between us, right? Because that composition coming out from PaperX has surprised you and me.
Yeah, not so much the swap, but it's the fact we have the Astra in here. I mean, we're still running with this guy on paper.
Let's go.
Again,
Match kedua.
There's some dedication towards keeping that here.
Yep.
But it's the Astra. You can switch Mindfreak and Monya between. If this is just something that they pulled out after not being happy with the Lotus here in Madrid, a real head scratcher here to see how much is really go, because Astra has a lot of utility. Obviously, open up the possibilities, especially on a map like Lotus, a 3-site map. PaperX early on probe towards B, but didn't really catch wind of anything on the other side of that. Magnum will spot out the rotation. Yeah, no real progress towards site here, and KC a little bit disconnected from B once again. Looks like PaperX going to follow through this time.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Forsaken's in a bit of a tricky position, but Monier's got the shot on lock. Going to take down one of Forsaken with a follow-up. PaperX just brawl out on the site and win out on the site. Heartbreak for KC there as Narray just drifting on through. How does this happen?
And a beautiful setup here. The paint shell posted in between the two mollies placed on site. I mean, it's good to really get Eng's insight there, call it insight, like saying really, what do you do? How can you prep? There's not an awful lot you can do other than the age-old kind of play your own game sort of approach, but then when you come out here and there's a different composition, there's another set of question marks. Whether or not PaperX really even rely on these agents to excel in terms of utility or continue to run it down. Forsaken and something on your front line, you've got to feel very confident regardless of who's on what behind that.
We're looking for that 4-play stack here. Feels like that flash was enough. The PaperX don't like what they're seeing, and it's actually quite well timed that they drift away. They will have a completely open A site. They'll note the lack of utility after last round. Magnum was there. I mean, it's not the biggest indicator, but now the fact that Forsaken has gone to the back of the site should give it away. Narrate, though, outdoes him with the classic. I do not know, but he'll be happy enough with it. Aren't going to come down now, down to the 4. It is just classics as well for KC. There's nothing beyond that. There's not a frenzy, there's not a ghost, there's nothing. It is purely classic, so something going to take up the test now as well.
I think they're a little bit conscious, who's post off on heaven. Now identifying the judges there. Don't expect too many bodies to funnel in this way. Narrate punished on the second.
Oh, Monier's going to buy some time.
Yeah, a lot of time bought here.
And something's on the case here, just prowling on the edges of those smokes. Opting to try and clear, to farm through, to try and hunt down these final players. But Magnum again with a connection. Can they make this really costly? It looks like they're going to try and exit through CT, which is the right call. Monnier going to double around, spots him out, but hey, KARMINE Core making this, you know, cost a little bit. Mind Freak and Divide do manage to escape. That Bulldog's still in play.
I mean, I think they only lose the Judge, though, if I'm not mistaken.
I think they just got taken back in too, but yeah.
Didn't see exactly what the purchase was, but regardless, something straight onto the operator. So another question mark in the mix here for KARMINE Core. It doesn't really even have the benefit of having the Blade Storm kind of on the brink. It has to make this work. Has Divide got anything? Oh, well, Sheriff now. Drifting really deep onto this angle very early on. No resistance from KC on the other side, unless Magnum was spotted.
Yeah. He was jump spotting that corner earlier,
yeah.
But that might have to be taken away from the repertoire. I'm worried that someone else might be going to go. Narrate's very nearby to this. They've noted that operator. No bullets have been fired, but if they'd seen anything, you can't do it. You can see them trying to toy with it. Daring anyone to try and peek a little further forward, but no one is. Good control being shown by KARMINE Core. Mind Freak getting very close. Should have been considered here by Narrate, and he has been. They're really putting bodies behind this.
A gap towards B here, but Spike not committed either way. So PaperX might resort to that now. I mean, it's only really Shin that's going to be able to cause any issues on the way in here. Narrate slowly creeping closer and closer.
Still not noting this operator.
I mean, Spike still not committed either.
They're looking for a pick, but look how deep KARMINE Core are sitting. They're not playing PaperX's games right now. Right call as well. Re-smoking and the Spike trying to make it across. Does anyone catch it in the heels? No, but something's cleared so deep here. They've got to be careful of door. They've got to be careful of the flank, considering how far something is cleared towards CT.
Spike planted.
They really do. And unfortunately, now a lot of questions for KC. Need to figure this out pretty quickly.
A real exchange of utility as the retake starts to build up. Something rattling off a couple of shots, but Forsaken in a fantastic position as well. If he can hold this down, he can become such a thorn in their side. Try and maybe double up here with something, but there is the push. And look at these shots just going astray. Can Monnier do anything in a 1v3? KARMINE Core flooding the site, and he just can't find it. They put bodies in the right places. They time it well. They swing back through.
This is one of those situations I was crediting on the first map, really. PaperX will keep pushing. You give them that space, but KC are playing in spawn. They're still in buy phase with 20 seconds left on the clock here.
Yeah.
Well, a really, really well-coordinated retake. This is after there's a gravity well to slow things down just inside Link. Don't leave him hanging. Don't leave him. Oh, no. Another 4K moment. It's a vibe killer.
Vibes down.
Yeah.
Game's lost.
Yeah, it's wraps.
Let's go, Mike. Pace change, looking like. Committed control towards Mount this time as well. And yeah, look at this. Very pacey. Gonna get the first real glimpse of this C site. Hadn't tested too much. And again, KC gonna evacuate. Why would they stick around? They've heard enough of this. Don't need any more of it. That's gonna be a plant. But look at that big flank coming out from Monnier. His timing could be critical. They need to hold a fair amount of this space for it to really come to fruition.
Looking to be a nuisance in the backlines here. This is not a good face-off, an operator versus a judge. Actually, Monnier pulls the trigger at just the right time.
Love seeing something swing as well, just to make sure it goes their way, and the last two being herded. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Narrate gonna try and bully his way past, but it's not just one. The whole team's gonna be here. Something gonna be careful, doesn't want to lose the operator, but they're hunting him down now. The hunter becoming the hunted as Tomasi falls. And it looks like that operator's made its way out, at least until now. The door, was it broken earlier? I believe it was. Something holding. Just the finest angle. Try to get away, Narrate. Gotta be careful though. There is the rest of the squad here now. And PaperX with that pace change, working out that C site.
Well, uncharacteristic misses here from something. If you're gonna continue to invest behind that operator.
Too easy.
Really well coordinated here, Monya. And that potentially is the game plan for him on the Astra. Must be very disconnected from some of these site hits. Again, that's the real benefit. If you can create this space, and KC are happy to concede it. You have something like Monya getting behind a lot of these plays. Okay, some real issues here. Forsaken finish on the first hit. KC looking to get the hell out of dodge.
You just can't angel against these guys. You just
Ah.
even in a fair fight. And in the meantime, not only did they get the pick towards C, they've already started to make that progress towards A. Obviously, much better off in the weaponry and going to be rewarded. Monya going to be overwhelmed though. Magnum going to get one back. That could be a weapon potentially recovered. Something on the case to keep control of it, and that's going to allow time for the plant to come in. Narrate still has that rifle, but that's about it. Beyond them, Stinger in play. Oh, that's rough. Not what he wanted there. Not what they wanted at all.
Something gets pinged off that as well. Forced back off that angle, but KC still need to get through this choke point.
I don't know what they got to go with. Prowler's already sent down. They got to just go for it, and Magnum outdoes something. Those misses starting to make a bit of a problem. Forsaken going to find one, but Force. Narrate holding this down. Can he do this? Can he really pop off here? 3 would be exceptional. He gets it to halfway. Oh, but Divide just... Oh, my God, he's got him! This time he gets his 3. Missed it on the first, but makes up for it in the second map here. The Red Bull clutch by his side.
What a swing back for KC. Looks all but done when they get held in this choke point. Magnum with a stinger outdoes something. Like I said, another miss coming through here.
Got to be kidding me.
No, wait, I think as soon as he identifies he's landed that headshot. Alex probably not too happy about some of the overcommits here from this post plant. Not at that point where you can just swing onto them, run the clock down, force another 2 or 3 seconds off the defuse. Narrate though, flipping it on its head.
This early mountain challenge has not been going particularly well for KC. However, this time, do have a little bit more, but does he get caught? Magnum going to find Monnier. That was over towards the A side of the map, so this could be working out. Oh, not at all. Actually, Martin going to spot the feet of Forsaken. It's going to be him eliminated, and that's 2 picks on either side of the map. You couldn't ask for a better start if you're Carmine Core.
Try looking to flash through here, but doesn't even catch. Martin unaffected.
Spike down, here.
The paint shell's perfect as well. To slow Mind Freak down. Martin's having a go at things now.
Yeah, starting to have a round. Something looking to make up for what has been a dreary start for him. And that's not a bad way to begin it. And suddenly they're on red alert. This went from, okay, take a fight to, hold on, it's still something. Let's relax here a little bit. There's 2 players on CT. And he wants that. He wants to take that space. Does he trying to work out if there's enough time maybe for a plant here? 35 seconds. He's causing them maybe a second or 2 of doubt. The plant's something that he wants.
30 seconds left.
No one's playing his tune though. No one's playing to his game.
The problem is with Shin still alive. Opportunity to smoke off here, so he has to dig his heels in. Can't really reset towards Mound with an open plant.
He needs
to have the Blade Storm. He needs to pick early.
And if Carmine Core is as disciplined as we credited them, they shouldn't give him that. There should never be an opportunity.
Smoke causes issues.
Yeah.
Can he under it? No, he can't.
I thought he might have had a little bit of a pixel there, but trying to play to the edge of it. And now they're grouping up. Oh my God, he's got the pick. Hold on! This is game on. Something is too much! Carmine Core, keep that control. Keep that heads up work. Playing together and getting the defuse. Scoreline all even.
You see again winning out in the early round. Very early pick onto Monnier. Really hinders that sort of slow play towards a post plant. Martin though, looking really crispy with the operator here. Something unfortunate. Overwhelmed a little bit here. After finally managing to get the plant down, we'll see an early timeout from PaperX. See, Alex wasn't too happy in one of the post plants. That loss over on A site to Narrate. Curious if this overall is the approach that the PaperX want to take with this sort of comp switch up. The problem being Divide just becomes I don't want to say useless, but his impact is really limited in these sort of kind of slow mid to late rounds. It's not really going to cause too much pressure unless Paper X win out early on towards Mound, early on towards Rubble, get themselves towards a site. And maybe Monya is on Astra to kind of counterbalance that.
Potentially, but again, it's just a lot of these questions I feel like get answered with one time and practice, and you can kind of find your way to work it out. But I don't know how much they've played this. I mean, this is a new comp to to our eyes. I don't know if they've been running it behind the scenes. If this is just a very last minute change, if there's something they thought might work. Their traditional comp wasn't going to be the answer they needed. But to change it at this point is I mean, it's a credit to Paper X to be able to do it.
The answer is to just get Forsaken on Raze.
I mean, it has worked to an extent. Maybe you have to see how that works out now. As it looks a simplistic start, but a great paranoia actually should facilitate them to the site. I don't think much is going to stop them here apart from their own paint shot, but even then something fancies his go of it. Going to get in there with a stinger. And look at this tempo change. Look at this. No plant, but they've drawn out the lockdown so early. Now going to go for this. Divide's going to go through.
Yeah.
And Martin's the one to find Monnier. So that lurk's been removed, and they're going to dive on in.
Oh, he didn't get caught with the stun! The showstopper's huge!
That's 2. 3 in the round. 2 off the rocket, and now Martin, can he do any more? He's feeling it. He wants more. He's chomping at the bit. He wants him dead. Magnum going to take down Forsaken, but one more. Can one man do something? Has to watch as the defuse comes in. And Carmine Core all too prepared for this.
What a round for Martin again. The finest of margins to get past that Trailblazer. I'm not even sure. Did he pick up an empty stinger at the end then? The way it looked like there's a little bit of a delay, but again, KC figuring out exactly what Paper X want to do with Monya on the Astra.
Anyone have here?
The thing is what's the second layer to these post plants? If it is kind of tailor-made around Monya, buying time, Paper X aren't really achieving what they need to make that work.
Martin and Shin, and good to see Martin finding a bit of comfort here. He's been not quite to the extent of what we saw online, or at least I say online, in the kickoff tournament. He was very much, not, I wouldn't say headline, you'd give that to Narrate, but he was right underneath him, very close by. Good to see a little bit of that form starting to really kick in here for him. And a quick adjustment for Paper X, eyeing up that A site after an early test towards Mount. And away they go. Forsaken going to be cut off at the door, though. And a quick adjust. Looking to potentially pressure. Maybe gets the timing right on this. They are all going towards CT.
And for Narrate here to post a nightfall.
I'm waiting to see that pressure come back
Spike's
through.
still not planted.
No, and something is screwed. Magnum clears him with ease, and Forsaken finally strikes. But the rest of the team took a moment to back away, but it's Narrate on the punish towards Monnier. They're losing out on numbers. Forsaken can only find so much impact, surely. They need to scramble away from here. The pit might almost act as a hindrance, because Mindfreak can hold this.
Now there's massive question marks outside this, but it's all 4 members of KC.
They're flying through! Martin finds Mindfreak, and that spike is over on C. It's going the longest way possible. So you're gonna need Forsaken to find so much.
10 seconds left. Divide will get Seekers off this. Still has a flash to work with.
Forsaken needs so much here. He's gonna hear him this time shine. He's good for 1, but Martin was so quick with the response. Divine next. In line here. Jump on the first to draw the fire. Falls back. Flash. Buys a second. They've still got to clear him. Does he get noted? Yes, he does. Oh, he's dead to rights. Carmine Core showing diligence now, starting to really get a grip on Paper X.
This is rough. Timing a little off. I guess the synergy a little off between Divine and Forsaken here.
Yeah. Forsaken
commits to that early peak. Yes, the showstopper. You almost want them to come into this choke point here. Out towards KC's spawn. Maybe a little bit lost in comms there, but beautiful recovery from KC. It looked like they were going to lose out initially, but Narrate's ultimate really the one to give them access back onto A side. I'm carrying on.
Yeah?
Yeah.
There.
You?
There's some temptation, but no, you're right, because look at this start. Look at Forsaken, right off the rip. Trying to get the shuts Forsaken the hell up. Not even going to get a voice line off, let alone the ult. And now what do? They've lost out on that early chance. You're down to 4. Something's position's going to be noted. Already early rotation from Narrate. And this map just doesn't look kind to Paper X now, Mike.
It doesn't. KC definitely in control here at the tempo. This first half. Magnum will potentially be called upon. Spotted here on the cross. Something. With a dash across though. Unscathed so far. Will be uncontested. Monye disconnected once again.
Shadows traveling.
He's been read so often though. He's playing very late here. Exceedingly late. So putting a lot of faith in the boys on the side. They can hold back this flood that's coming in right about now. 1-for-1 trade, but it's not enough considering they're down to 2. Narrate sweeping through. Mind Freak bites right back. And now Monye needs to come forward here. Needs to be part of this. Narrate down low. Mind Freak toying with the TP. Monye can't hit the shot on the cross, and now it's all on Mind Freak! Shin! What a way to come back in, Carmine Core! Get the job done. They are starting to really tip the scales here, Mike.
PaperX really struggling. I mean, this almost has sort of echoes of the approach Fnatic had versus PaperX on this map. Concede all the space, happy to play the retake, and PaperX were just left scratching their heads in that series. Carmine Court look like they've taken a leaf out of that book.
One enemy.
I mean, typically you credit for PaperX's ability to convert space into success. And this sort of play style, not really the approach to make, but PaperX really struggling.
They are.
Second timeout called, round 10.
Says quite a lot, just that in a fact, right? So, again, when we talk about this map, otherwise it did sit quite nicely with Carmine Core. We credited them very highly on this map. This is one that kind of put them, not necessarily on our radar, but it very much solidified what a lot of people were looking at. But the fact, as I said, that they're doing this to PaperX after what was a very good first map, this has got to be a huge confidence builder for Carmine Core and kind of bringing them back to where they should be mentally, because a lot of us kind of discussed this coming into this event as well. If they don't start off with a confident beginning, they could lose a little bit of that I guess, faith in the calling and executing the plans they've come up with, but so far it's looking absolutely on the money here. This could certainly spur them on as they go forward. But the timeout came in, a couple more rounds to play with, and a full purchase here for PaperX.
With the TP for Shin. 3 off the showstopper. Again, Martin not really been relying on that too much with how he's been hitting. Equator definitely a more valuable investment in his hands than something so far. Bit of a pace change here. PaperX, no secrets about this on the way in. No slow creep.
First time it feels like all 5 are actually working towards something. Normally Monye was disconnected, but this time I'm playing somewhat close to the pack here. Plant's going to come in. You can see Magnum creeps a little closer. Prowler going to come through. They know Narrate's nearby. Tomasi still up. Flash there. Something trying to play ahead. Does really well with that. Takes down Tomasi and wants a bit more, but he's not going to be able to get back up that rope here. Forsaken going to be forced away as well, but they're still trying to stand their ground. Almost belligerent in approach, but it's divine to find Magnum. Forsaken to answer one right back. Can they sweep the site? Narrate, what you got for us now? You pulled off a 1v3 before. This is a lot though, and he ain't got much time with this one.
We're going to try and hold on to the operator. Oh, hang on, still got back down rope here. PaperX think he's saving. Oh, I mean, it's a star down regardless on the spike.
Oh.
Looking to do some further damage to the economy, but I think running the risk, it should be safe to get out here. I don't think he's got time to get back in and get that operator, so PaperX, a slight adjustment in pace coming out of the timeout. Get themselves a round win. Yeah, we haven't seen this sort of play coming out so far. I think the real thing to notice is Paperex have forced back in their shells a little bit.
Which is strange.
Yeah,
right?
again, you can read this pretty well. It's like, yeah, as 5, they're sitting back, they're in CT, they're getting ready to retake. Usually Paperex will be like, cool, let's send 2 people in there. Let's start a flash in there. Let's get a little deeper, but we haven't really seen that.
That could have been one of the time
wow.
now. Okay. You are lucky to be alive, Forsaken. That looked like it was about to be Raps and Mod. Come on! Still good for it. They're just taking straight up aim duels. They're standing here and fighting.
I've got your trail.
Which team is which? It almost felt like it was Paperex doing that sort of stuff.
Shin, you gotta be careful.
9 HP. And he was the last line of defense on this A site. A quick TP, but look who's reading it. Magnum, great.
Oh my god.
No idea. Magnum just reads him like a book.
I mean, there's almost an eternity that passes after these Seekers identify where Magnum is.
This is tough. Shin's vulnerable, but now you've got Magnum with his entirety of his setup here. Spike, his position. Divide can't cross this without being spotted.
56 HP as well. Yeah.
There it is. Paranoia getting prepped. A little bit of free fire, but it doesn't really matter. Yeah, bye-bye. Divide. Gonna go for the dog here. Couldn't quite close the gap, though, noting that he'd fallen away from that close angle, but he's got 20 seconds. I think he knows this one. Yeah, just going to slip through the fingertips here.
I'm not sure if I missaw that, but I thought the Seeker went to the left. It's invested from rubble. Obviously, Shin took a ton of damage inside tree, but I'm not sure if we're going to get a chance to see that on the replay, but the timing's just way off here. I believe if the door's broken, yeah, Magnum's broken the door. So I don't know if that information's just lost in the exchange or what. But a real gamble to take this TP all the way towards C site.
Well, if we do have any replay of that, it may not be the case.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what happens here because I was focused on it. Well, I've missed it there.
Yeah.
I know Shin took a ton of damage inside tree. Maybe they're thinking, yeah, we've tagged up the A-site player, so surely Magnum's going to commit towards helping his teammate.
Right, yeah. The critical issue there. Hey, Magnum! They're just taking mad challenges! Carmine Corp, this is very out of character, but it's worked very well. Completely surprising Paperex with a change of pace, taking a somewhat late duel over by Mound. And it worked very well for themselves. Shin on fire, they're taking down Divide. Monye, noted. Nowhere to run. Nowhere to run on that. Carmine Corp. You've seen real different shades of this team in this half alone.
Yeah, and winning out in that sort of round where Paperex are looking to get feisty, get up in your face, take an engagement.
Squashed.
KC happy to throw bodies on the line.
Let's go! Let's go, boys! Energy into it.
Definite. Yes, energy booster,
Yes.
confidence booster for Carmine Corp.
And now a chance to listen to one of the players who's really stepped up here, Martin.
Hello, I'm Martin and I play for KARMINE Corp. Even though we know we can win against anyone when our form is good, it's just not there at the moment, and I think the whole team is not feeling the well. We are not playing at the same level as we did in kickoff, and team play and comms are just not on the spot. And then honestly we just choked. So I think that Magnum obviously is a new IGL, but he's learning very fast, and I think his calls are very good. I don't think he fell short from Q2. I think it was a team problem, not Magnum's problem. We for sure are better than that.
Less 10, just no chance, surely. Anything taps it, hoping that a few of these players will be out wide and open! Unbelievable! This time! Unbelievable! Milliseconds available!
Celsius is miles away. The Nightfall going to confirm that he's not playing towards rubble.
Narrate, 9 bullets!
For me, as a duelist, I just need to not do stupid stuff, even though I'm having a bad game. I still need to make space and calm. If I ever don't do that, then the game is very hard for the others. So I think it's just me being calm because it's just another match. People shouldn't think that it's death or do match because it just adds on the pressure. It's just about us not having the greatest team play right now, and we're trying to work on it.
8-4, Carmine Court, showing us a little of what really enamored us with them during that kickoff phase. Those retakes being very, very solid. Starting to see some of that individual flair coming out from not just Narrate, but also Martine as well. Some great reads from Magnum, a lot of those key elements. Now, on the other side here, flipping the script a little, PaperX, it felt like a last-minute change coming in with this comp. I'd be happy to be proven wrong if they say, hey, no, this is where we intend to be, but it didn't quite land where I wanted it to. No, and I think there's an opportunity to really, I guess, demonstrate it in the second half here, but it feels like in the mid-round, these slow, drawn-out rounds where KC are happy to concede space, not using the utility, they're always going to win out. You see, now Carmine Court are going to approach.
Calling my bot.
Get themselves up mound pretty quickly. The rest of PaperX making their way past Rubble right now. Cool. Looking for Monyet to just disconnect, but Martine down to 20 HP already.
He's trying to stay maybe a little postured just to look a little more threatening than he is by a couple more seconds, but that flash should be noted.
It's an open path, so KC looking to potentially reset towards Mount, but actually no, they're pushing spawn.
Again, the turret's been dealt with quickly. They should have an idea that everyone's here. They've seen 3 different pieces of utility, and they're just going to flood CT. But already something's going to catch Shin. Can they try and disrupt these final players? There's going to be a playthrough back on short as well. Magnum going to be flashed off the angle. You can already see the smokes will be coming up here. The diffuse is going to be starting. It does get denied. Going to be dragged away. Monyet, something. PaperX looking for... No way! Come off it! Come off it! You got 5 rounds. Relax a little. What are they up to?
It's always the same PaperX underneath. It's just...
What is that?
The crazy thing is, it always almost looks like that's the plan, that's the call. Somebody's saying that. Like, I've got to reload. Oh, I'm going to knife him. I'm going to knife him.
Look at him. Look at him. Screaming. I can't believe it.
Oh, that's how they kick off the second half.
Oh, no, I'm nervous now. They're just going to do PaperX things like...
Ooh.
Hello.
Martine unconfirmed, but a ton of damage to Monyet.
Oh, God.
My freak caught on, I don't know what he was caught on there. Never smoke out something?
I don't know, but he looked lost in the source. Monyet, fortunately, though, going to make up for it and kind of bail out the player by door as well. This is... Sure, Mike. I'll leave you to the analysis on this one.
There's action coming now.
No, look, it's time.
Plant's going to come through. Martine looking for something, but...
Find something.
Going to happen. Yeah, find something on the other end of it. The raid post up close to a judge here. Could do some damage.
And again, good damage. Oh dear. Falls to divide. These rounds are getting weird. Shin left in a 1v2. Can he make something out of it? He might just be able to. Something with a judge and Shin with a dream. He knows it. He knows he's close by. What the hell can Shin do? Oh, a nice try. Something. Making sure he's dead, by the way.
It just cleared about 8 different angles in half a second here. It's such an awkward spot here underneath C site. But yeah, was Mindfree looking to smoke something because he's out in the middle of nowhere on B
just
side.
drifting.
Must be just come out of sending a smoke somewhere. So it looked like he was reloading, but that was him just pulling back out the bulldog.
Yeah, that was really weird on B. I don't know what happened. That whole round was just, all out there. 8-6.
Carmine Court looking to continue pressuring towards Mound here. It's a switch up, something on the other side of this.
Well, I don't feel like something's going to do some nasty work here.
He's hanging around.
Yeah, okay, just... Hey, run.
Get out.
What the hell is going on? A late smoke towards main, but they might just disrespect it. They know they can. Something down a little low, but he's still trying to be ferocious about this. Shin trying to play ahead of it, but it's Magnum to find him. Oh, Monyet with a belting shot on Martine. Still gonna find value even just with that Sheriff. Where the hell's the rest of the squad though?
For a crunch back through the door here, potentially. KC in the danger zone. As soon as this opens up though, it's a two-way street.
Magnum could get played in on this. It's Shin with the spam to catch him. And now the odds are looking less and less likely for Paper Expert to close that gap, but you can never write these guys out. Shin just controlling on the site though, really keeping a firm grip. Magnum denies the door. And the options for Mind Freak have pretty much dissipated for those last couple of kills.
Yeah, and going to be weird coming out of this round as well, because it's Monye and Divide to have some credits left in the bank, but Casey's round win here almost gives them a huge opportunity to double down on this. Knocking on the door of double digits as well. First ult cycle just about coming on for a few members of KARMINE. So yeah, narrate 2 away, Shin 1 off the TP. Magnum and Martin about halfway. With something expecting to have the Blade Storm at least here, buying down to 550, and looks like actually, considering throwing everything in here, it's Forsakenness to concern that far away from the showstopper as well. He's only got a Sheriff. Switch up here from KC though.
Good luck, Divine. There is hightailing it away, which is probably the right call. Now, if you're KARMINE core, you're still going to do somewhat of a diligent clear. You can't be too lackadaisical about it, but there's a pace to them. They want to get this early starting quite quickly. Going to note the player towards topside CT. There is a lot more there now. Narrate, though, going to take away something. He's just holding the line. He's willing for a fight. This guy's almost welcoming the fight. They haven't gone for the plant yet, so this is getting a little dicey, but they're holding for maybe this reaggress.
I know that Paper X is going to try and pre-take the site here, but it's punished. It's picked apart by KARMINE core. And it's a flawless round to find double digits. The money coming into question now for Paper X.
Yeah.
We know there's no timeouts. There's no opportunity to take a breather. KARMINE core really starting to dial up the pressure here.
Well, I feel like this echoes back to almost our starting point of this entire matchup. It's the question of form. We've seen what Paper X can look like in map 1 when it's terrifying, when they are in that full fight and flight mode, just flying at you across the map. And here, missing a little bit in that regard, whereas KC starting to hit towards where they'd want. Late swing comes out and they're hunting them down. Already Paper X not going to take the foot off the gas by any means. Didn't get the connections they want. Also, this drift from...
Oh,
dear. Guy's got to be careful, though.
Yeah, no chance to get that weapon cycled across. Should have a ton of information of how much presence there was towards C. Paper X haven't necessarily rotated just yet. But now, actually, yeah, the rifle is retrieved, so Monye has that in hand now.
And with the loss of Magnum, there is a chance for some of these flanks to work, maybe, but they've decided against it, right? Opting against. Side's going to get cleared. No one there. Backfilling that space, though, you're going to see something try and maybe thread the needle, but look at the spike. Look where it's heading.
Hook, line,
Great
and
read.
sinker.
Great read here.
Yeah, Paper X have taken the bait. And enough time will pass here where they have a chance to at least get back on, as long as KC are quick about this one. Yeah, finally coming through. An open plant towards Mound. And plenty of opportunities. Shin now in a position to play spoiler. A glance from something, but not noted.
4 through door, though. That's a lot of players there. Martin this time in the position Magnum was in before, but again, they don't have the weaponry to really close this down. You can see that late look does get handled, but they've had no success elsewhere. I'm just eyeing up Monye. Hold on, I'm eyeing up Monye. What is this man up to? He's got to beat Martin, and he's got to do it fast. Yeah, absolutely not. What is the plan here? There's no time for this. This feels... Wait.
Is there time for this? No, he's not.
No.
Close, but no cigar.
Ooh!
Yeah, not even. I thought it was way more than that.
I know.
I was like, yeah, no, he's like a second off here.
Guys,
VCT find 11 though.
Bloody hell,
Yeah.
what a game. This is... Got a little close, didn't it?
Yeah. A little touch and go. I mean, if anything else happens here and it's Martin to fall first,
Yeah.
then actually that divide pays off.
Yeah, right. Go back in, this time with the buy though. But just
dulu ya,
gonna
guys.
paper
Bye-bye.
expert Still, it's sticking the landing that's been the hard part. TP gets taken and committed to, so you're gonna have Shin towards